What's up, everybody, and welcome back to the Terror Table for episode 101. We are a horror podcast if this is your first time tuning in, but I'm assuming since we've now done 100 episodes, you've probably listened to one or two before.
If you don't know, now you know.
Exactly, and if you don't know, if you don't know, my name is Mitch, and alongside me, as usual, is...
I'm Buzi.
And Diego couldn't be with us today, but he'll be back with us next week. But filling in for him, we've decided to bring back a listener favorite, the... Long Island Booty Queen, Miss Courtney Sperling. Welcome.
Oh my god.
That was why I kept looking back and forth.
Hey, Courtney.
What a warm welcome.
That was natural, eh?
It was very natural.
Can you give us a whoosha? Was that what he says?
Give us a whoosha in Teresa Caputo's voice.
Oh, that's a tough one.
Oh, okay.
It's been a while since you've done the Teresa Caputo voice.
Wishaw.
All right, well, for those of you who don't know, Courtney's been on I guess this would be like your fifth episode, probably.
No, I think it's
Isn't it?
my fourth.
Fourth, okay.
Oh,
So
okay.
Third
Courtney's
or fourth,
been on before.
maybe.
Courtney is my girlfriend, my roommate,
Your boo.
my booty queen. And
He's
she's
not
my partner in crime. So, but you've been highly requested by lots of our listeners. Like, people love you.
Well, I'd hope so.
Yeah.
I am incredible.
No, we're really excited.
And
to have
very
you here.
modest.
And so modest, yeah.
Yeah. And today we're going to be discussing Adam Robitel's Escape Room, which came out on January 4th. For those of you who don't know, Adam Robitel, he's done movies like The Taking of Deborah Logan and the Insidious, The Last Key, the fourth Insidious film.
Oh, I didn't know that he did the taking of Deborah Logan.
And I love
God,
that movie.
I told you that.
I wasn't listening, clearly.
You never listened to me.
I didn't know that either. And
Okay.
Are you fucking
I
kidding
think,
me?
What?
I think you just told me about Insidious, not that.
I know, but in our group chat, I say, hey, Buzi, do you want to go see Escape Room? It's by the director of Taking of Deborah Logan.
Was I excited?
You were like, oh, I saw that already.
Oh, okay.
That's why he didn't pay attention, because he had already seen it.
You're a headline guy, hey?
Yeah.
You read headlines and not articles?
Yeah. I'm like, give me the gist of it. Give me the jot note.
Which is good to know after 100 episodes of Buzi's Newsies.
Yeah, no doubt.
I know the bare minimum of information.
Okay. With all that being said, we will be talking about news as well today. We're going to
For the first time in like forever.
We're back to basics. We're going to be doing a whole episode, regular, doing what we usually do. We're going to talk about what we've been seeing and what we've been doing. Since it's been requested and we're interested. I know, even though she's my girlfriend, I only know a few of them, but Courtney's going to share her top 10 favorite horror films of 2010.
2018.
2018. Wow. 2010?
Can you do 2010, please?
I would love to. I'll just need a couple minutes.
2010. What would that have been? It would have just been like My Soul to Take, 1 through 10.
Yes.
Yeah.
Number one.
Okay, but either way, we're gonna get a few things out of the way first. Our friend Jeff at the Sobia podcast sent us a message after our 100th episode, so it didn't get in on time.
So you're making fun of me for not reading headlines. You're the guy who can't fucking get it together. He's like, oh, I missed the 100 questions?
Jeff?
Yeah.
Yeah, Jeff sucks, but we're gonna read his message here. Okay, so he says... This is from Jeff. He says, hey guys, so I know I'm late to the party, but this time of the year is nuts for me, especially considering my youngest's birthday is December 24th. Ouch, but karma also. That's me saying that. Can you imagine having a kid?
Oh, I thought he said that.
No, I'm cutting it off right here because can you imagine having a kid on Christmas? Get double the gifts?
Yeah,
karma.
My mom's birthday is the 27th.
Yeah, one of my
that's
best
not
friends is the
Christmas.
26th. He just doesn't get presents.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm thinking. It's
Yeah,
either you get presents, you either get really spoiled or you get nothing.
Yeah. Like Santa comes, but then everyone forgets your birthday.
True.
Yeah.
Okay, either way. I meant to write this for the 100th, but maybe you could share this on 101 if you want. First of all, congrats on making it to the century mark, especially to Buzi and Diego for tolerating Mitch for that long.
He used that same joke when he called me on his episode.
Yeah. God knows you have achieved what most would consider an unachievable goal. Thank you, Jeff. And secondly, I've heard probably 3/4 of the Terror Table available episodes, and I would say they have single-handedly reignited my love for the horror genre.
Nice.
I think I mentioned this before, but for whatever reason, somewhere along the way, I sort of drifted away from horror Just add that to the ever-growing list of passions that get tossed away in the name of parenting. But since I started listening, the excitement you guys have on the show regarding the genre has proven to be contagious for me personally. I'm sure that's happened to many who listen. As a result, I've seen a ton of amazing horror movies I wouldn't have normally checked out. It's also provided me with an added and immersive element to the Halloween season, and I think that's even affected Georgia, my daughter, in the coolest of ways. She's already showing serious signs of becoming a horror fiend.
Oh, I thought you was going to say something like a serial killer. She's
Well,
been torturing animals
Yeah.
lately.
Basically,
And setting things on fire.
Yeah.
Basically, it's just very entertaining, funny, and most importantly, a loving ode to this genre, and it's been really cool listening to older episodes and hearing you guys find your groove. I will always be happy to come on if you ever need a guest, and here's to hoping you make another few hundred episodes. And my favorite episode so far is probably the Dreamcatcher one. It's got all the TT staples, massive immaturity, useless but fun facts about the movie, and one of my favorite TT dissections of a feature. Thank you, Jeff.
Thanks, Jeff.
That is awesome, actually. So I know I'm rough, and I was obviously joking with all my Jeff roast there. But Jeff's become a good friend because of this podcast. Jeff and Johnny both at So Be It. I'm actually going to be on So Be It this coming Sunday, and Buzi's going to be on again in the future as well. But they're good friends, so thank you for that.
I have loved watching you guys have this weird bromance where you hate each other. Mm-hmm. It's really weird. It's like two...
That's true love, though.
You guys seem like two brothers who grew up together, and you just annoy the shit out of each other.
That's exactly what it is.
All
Yeah.
they do is shit talk each other, and then we come home and there's like gifts on our patio from
Yeah,
Jeff.
We'll text each other and shit on each other, and then Jeff gives me gifts. I haven't given him a gift yet, though, I don't think, so I need to fix that.
You've given him the gift of friendship.
Have I,
What is
though?
more important than that?
Money.
Another awesome thing that I'm going to bring up before we get really rolling on this is we got a postcard from
Alexis, isn't it?
It's from Alexis, but I'm trying to find out what. Okay, I'm just going to read it. It's a Godzilla postcard.
Gojira.
For those of you who don't know,
It's Gojira!
Alexis is living in Japan right now. She's been living there. Or she's going to be living there for like.
I
the
wonder
next
if
2
like
years.
tourists are like making up like 100% of that market. Do you think anyone who's actually there is like, oh, check out this cool postcard?
That is like the coolest postcard I've ever
I
seen.
know,
This
it is cool.
Okay, so I'm going to describe it here. It's Godzilla facing a giant wave, but it's holographic. It's so cool. It's awesome.
See,
Super
Japan just does everything better than we
It
ever
does.
could.
I'm going to read this. It says, Dear Terror Table, and then it has, I'm pretty sure what is Japanese writing up top.
Yes.
She wrote it.
Namaste.
Konnichiwa. Congratulations on 100 episodes. I can't believe I've been listening to your dick jokes for 2 years now.
Right?
For real, though. Thank you for sharing your love and good taste for horror movies. I'm looking forward to the day we can get together and watch/discuss a movie we all love, aka Not the Nun. Proud of you boys for doing what you love. Sending love from the birthplace of Godzilla. Alexis, and then another Japanese writing, and it says, P.S. Diego, come visit, please. So I'll show that to him next time he's here. And then it's got my address. It says, to Mitch Oliver, 6 feet. Okay.
What?
That's good.
Were you about to read your address?
Yes, he was. And the funny thing is I came home from work one day and I was like, oh my God, that's so cool. Who gave us that? And then I was like, oh, of course, it's Alexis. I'm like, wow, that's so nice. I'm like, wait a minute. She messaged me for our address and I had completely forgotten about it.
That was an awesome surprise. That was
Yeah,
really nice.
it's really nice.
I think we're really gullible because that's happened to all of us, I think, where they'll just be like, hey, what's your address? And we'll say it and then like not think anything of it. Like
Like when Mitch asked me how tall I was because
Yeah.
he was building me a coffin that fit my size. And I was like, oh,
I was building her a
'cause
shelf.
stuff like that doesn't just come up regular. Like, hey, man, let's talk about our postal codes.
Exactly.
yeah, but then you forget about it.
Yeah, exactly.
One last thing before we get going, and I want to give a huge thank you to Bryson and Megan for sending Courtney and I a merry little Christmas card.
Oh, it's
And
so
cute. It's a beautiful
cute.
picture of Bryson and Megan and their 2 boys, and it's an awesome. It's going to hang on our fridge year round.
Yep.
So
Aw.
it'll
It's really
be here.
cutie. So thank you guys.
Yeah, thank you so much. We really appreciate that. And I'm going to message Megan personally because I don't think she listens to this, but
Yeah.
she's awesome. So thank you. Okay, and moving on from there, let's go. Oh, one more quick plug. Former guest of the show, first guest of the show, Jason Hamill, and he was on recently. He's doing a GoFundMe page right now he's trying to pay off his student loans for film school, and in exchange for that, he is going
Wait, this
to...
is in typical Jason fashion.
Yes, you have to. If you haven't listened, it was our episode on Thirst. That was the most recent one. Give that a listen. But Jason is going to be getting a Godsmack tramp stamp tattooed on him in exchange for his student loans being paid off. So support a good man doing stupid things. So hope you reach your goal, Jason. I donated $5 because I'm not giving you any more than that.
He treats his body as a temple.
But one of those temples where birds shit all over.
Yes.
He's got okay. Anyways, we've been bickering enough. Let's talk about horror movies. Buzi, what have you been up to? Do you want to go first, or should we let Courtney?
Let's let Courtney, because we're always here. Let's let somebody who hasn't been here in a while talk about it.
Let's hear about your top 10. Let's hear what you've been up to since last time you've been on, and your top 10s, and then because you and I have watched the same thing, so we'll tackle that after Buzi. But let's talk about what you've been up to.
Like in general in life? Or horror related?
Courtney, what have you been watching on this horror podcast that we are currently doing?
Yeah, but I don't keep track. Like, I don't write them down. Mitch knows.
Okay, there's got to be like some that stand out outside of your top 10s.
Last time you were on the show was for Bryson's episode, which was on May 10th, 2018.
Oh my goodness.
It's been a long time.
Well, I've been reading lots of really awesome creepy books. Do you want to hear a couple of
Let's
them?
hear
See, there we go. Hit us with that.
Yeah, so I haven't been reading as much as I'd like to, but the most recent book I finished, well, that was kind of creepy, was Flowers in the Attic. Classic novel. Classic by V.C. Andrews.
Is it actually classic? Because I've never heard of it.
No, it is.
Okay.
It's
never heard of it.
It's about like kids locked in an attic, basically, by
where they should
evil mom/grandmother. It's I've wanted to read it for
Would
years.
you recommend?
100%, yes.
Yeah?
It's a little I don't want to.
You need to
go too much into it.
Let's sell it.
There is 2 movie adaptations of it as well.
Oh, okay.
Another one I read was the first book in the trilogy by Stephen King. The first one's Mr. Mercedes, and I'm reading the second one right now. It's Finders Keepers.
And these are all
and then the
connected?
Third one. Oh, what the heck is it called? I can't remember what the third one's called, but my boss actually lent them to me. And you know how Stephen King books go on for like 7 to 10 chapters longer than they should? These books are actually like perfectly written.
Okay, so he cuts the fact where he talks about Maine for 2 hours.
Yes.
Yeah.
So these ones are actually like
End of Watch?
Crime. End of Watch. Yes, that's the third one. So I highly recommend Mr. Mercedes, and that's actually a series now as well that you can watch.
And see, that's crazy. I briefly told you about this, but I've heard nothing but bad things about that series.
I don't know, like the book series
The
or
books,
the.
yeah.
Oh, I love them.
Yeah,
I love them. I also read I Know What You Did Last Summer.
Yes.
Which was a fun.
Which is nothing like the movie, right?
Nothing, and it's 200 pages, and it's just
I
like.
think you talked about that last time you were on here,
I
but
think
you
so
hadn't
too.
you hadn't read it yet.
No, but
I
think I was so excited to show Buzi that I had it. I also read A Head Full of Ghosts by Paul Tremblay, which I mean was super awesome. And we have the other one. What is it? Cabin at the End of the World?
Cabin at the End of the World, Paul
Yeah,
Tremblay.
so I'd be very interested to read that one. Probably in my top of this year would be I'll Be Gone in the Dark.
Yeah, everyone's talking about that.
Michelle McNamara, obviously. It's about the Golden State Killer. It's incredible. Another one I read was The Chalk Man.
Which Lana? What did
You got me that for my birthday.
I'm having such a tough time figuring this out. If you would have read that by the time you were on last time, I think you had.
I updated in March, so I think I would have read it.
Yeah, because you love that book.
Yeah, and right now I'm reading another recommendation by Lana. Thank you.
Is this the Christmas gift that I gave you?
Yeah, and it's called My Sister the Serial Killer. And I'm only a couple chapters in, but the first chapter hooked me immediately. The first chapter is called Bleach, and it's basically about how bleach does and does not do a good job of cleaning up blood and disinfecting.
Ooh.
So it started off pretty hype, and I'm really excited to finish it.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So if there's your favorite book of the year, do you have a favorite? Or did you already say that I'll Be Gone in the Dark?
I'll Be Gone in the Dark. Yeah, absolutely. It's the most beautifully written crime book that I've ever read in my life.
Yeah.
Like, I'm so sad that I didn't get to read anything else by her. I don't know if she wrote anything else, to be honest, but and she didn't even finish the book.
Yeah,
right?
Patton, her husband Patton Oswalt finished it up.
Well, and some of the
Oh,
other
that's
people.
that one.
That's
Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
Golden State
Yeah,
Killers.
yeah.
Oh my god, it's incredible. Like she was the most beautiful writer. It was
She discovered she busted it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's so cool.
Yeah.
It was such a treat to read. So yeah, I'd say that's my number one.
She
of the
talks
year.
about a small dick a lot, I heard.
Yeah, I love that when I read
That's
that.
one way to like get a guy
Yeah.
who's like wanting
Fuck
to be
you, man.
notorious.
You got a small dick.
Like he's gonna read it and like, that's it, I'm coming out of hiding
Yeah.
for this.
Well,
Yeah, what she did.
yeah, wild.
That was like normal size. Cool. What about movies? Let's do your top
Let's
10.
hear these top 10s. I'm
Okay.
actually waiting.
Let's
I'm
do-
excited.
I had a really tough time because there was so many movies that we watched this year, and I felt like lots of them were sort of mediocre.
Yeah, let's talk about that for a second. So, like, because I don't think you and I have even really talked about this in depth, because I always just come on the terror table and do it here. But
I just want to bring up the list of ones that I was excited for and that kind of let me down. Can I do that?
yeah,
Sure.
but I also just wanted to ask you about the year in general.
Okay.
Like, so for the most part, like, did you think that this was a strong year in horror, or now that you were making your list, did you find it hard to narrow it down to 10?
I did find it hard to narrow it down to 10, but at the same time, there were so many movies that I did really like. It's just I didn't have 10 movies that really wowed me that were horror movies.
And
this
that's
year.
saying a lot.
So it
because-
wasn't a great year then.
Yeah,
for
that's saying a
horror.
lot because Courtney loves fucking everything.
I do. I find joy. I like.
You're a joyous person.
I am. I find as a whole, 2018 had a lot of incredible movies that aren't on my list because they're not horror.
Yeah, and
So
I feel like it's like this year had like three or four like amazing movies. They're super heavy.
yes,
That you can't rewatch all the time. Like
Exactly.
we didn't have it this year.
no.
Like we didn't have one that you can watch again and again and again.
Yeah.
So yeah, I had a really tough time narrowing down my list. So these are some of the movies that I was a little bit upset by.
Holy shit! That I can see from. I can't read from here, but I can see that's a long fucking list.
Oh, it's movies that we just watched in
okay.
general. But
I was like, did everything disappoint
So
you?
these are all disappointments, so they're not honorable mentions.
I have two honorable mentions, but like House That Jack Built, for example. I know you guys all know that Mitch loved that movie. Buzi, was that in yours? Yeah. And it just
I think all of us had it.
yeah, go
Yeah.
ahead at number 3.
I was so excited for that movie. It should have been an A+ for me, and it's not my thing. It was not my thing. I don't like Lars von Trier.
What didn't you
think
like
any
about?
of us
Was it the subject matter?
No,
or-
I love the subject matter. Fuck
Okay.
me up with all that shit.
Okay, where did it lose you then?
I don't know.
It's
and that's
the simple
thing.
stuff really bothered you.
And yeah, and like I get it, but like when he was
No
having
spoilers.
a conversation,
No spoilers.
When he was talking to the girl about being simple, for example.
Oh yeah.
It just pissed me off more than him killing people.
Yeah, like you said that part bothered you more than Incident 3.
Yes, you know.
Oh,
it's just,
Incident 3.
I don't know. There's just something that happened along the way that pulled me out, and I couldn't go back in.
It was making you sick.
It wasn't well.
Yeah.
Not really, but it was shocking, and I like shocking, and it was about a serial killer. What else do I want?
Yeah, it's a perfect movie.
It didn't work well for me, and that's okay.
Maybe I can mansplain it to you sometime.
Shut the hell
I was
up.
gonna say, is that the problem? Is that it's too much of a man movie?
Maybe.
Yeah.
Well, no, that's the thing. I
think it's just
it's
his-
super fucking sexist. and
Yeah.
that's
super
what I was
misogynistic.
trying to allude
Yeah.
to. Yeah.
And I know that it's like, is he doing that on purpose, or is he just that much of a fucking...
No, he's 100% doing that on
Exact-
purpose.
But I think it's
100%
also
is.
to do with his
It's a-
personality.
It's
so
a commentary because the whole movie is a commentary on him.
on his career.
And
I don't like it.
I just feel like he's smart about like poking people. Like
Yes.
he got exactly what he wanted out of
Yeah.
Courtney.
100%
Do you know what I
he
mean?
did.
Yeah.
100% he did.
I think he actually failed with us. Like
just-
with us liking it so much.
Yeah.
I
He's
just-
like, oh damn.
I wish I could have liked it.
Yeah, okay.
Another one that really let me down was Hellfest.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we all said that.
Terrible movie. I hated it. I did not like it.
We didn't talk about this yet. Yeah. I knew that you were like, yeah, man.
No. What was the other one that was the same? Bloodfest?
Yeah, Bloodfest was fun.
I would rather watch Bloodfest 100 times over than watch Hellfest.
Which is what
man.
Mitch said last
Yeah.
time. Well, not quite to that extent, but you said
No,
Bloodfest was
I
better.
enjoyed Bloodfest more.
what
I didn't
else?
hate Hellfest.
I don't think it's the worst thing ever. It just was kind of meh.
I really liked Searching up until the last
you
15
were
No
minutes.
spoilers.
No spoilers, no. But it was really fun, and then I was like, oh, lame.
And you did not want to see that movie at all.
No, I don't like the screen. Like
I thought they did such a good job.
social
No,
media
I agree,
things.
but they did such a good job of that.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see your list now.
Yeah. And Summer of '84 let me down so hard.
So you hated it.
I didn't like it.
I liked it more than you did.
You did. You liked it a lot. I wouldn't watch it again.
Yeah.
I didn't
think
like
we
it.
were fairly lukewarm on it.
Yeah, but I got shit for being so harsh on it.
Yeah.
I don't like. I was like, I liked it.
Speaking of that,
the actors were good.
Yeah.
It was a fun setup. I love 80s anything. It didn't work for me.
I loved the last half hour. Like,
the last half hour was awesome.
See, I didn't mind it, and I know we had a long conversation about it, but I was cleaning up my DVD pile the other day, and I found my copy of that, and I was kind of like, yeah, I'm not going to watch this anytime soon.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Okay, are you ready?
Yep.
Are we doing top 10s now?
Yeah.
10 to 1.
Start from 10, yeah.
Well, I'm going to do my 2 honorable mentions first.
Do the honorable mentions last. That's why they're honorable mentions.
Okay. Number 10 is Suspiria.
Ooh, made it through.
See, I still haven't seen it, yeah.
I'm itching to watch it again.
Fought with this one a lot because I loved the movie so much, but it was 45 minutes too long. And I was like...
exactly where I was
It
at.
was like, do I fault a beautifully made movie like that just for going too fucking long when I read Stephen King novels who go for 7 chapters too long? No, I'm not going to. So I put it in my top 10.
I want to watch it again.
Because
Let's watch it again soon.
it's a dance movie about witches. That is me. That is my life. So
Can you back up my... Because Courtney doesn't listen to the show, by the way. Can you back up my statement about the
Tilda?
No,
Or the one scene?
the one scene that was probably the most effective thing this year.
Yeah, it was the craziest thing I've seen in a long time, and I loved it.
Best horror scene of the year.
Yeah,
That's why
by far.
I had to fight between putting that or Halloween at my number 10. Like,
Yeah.
they were neck and neck.
Which brings me to number 9, Halloween.
Oh.
Yeah.
I also thought about wanting to put this one in my top 10 because there were other movies that I liked more. But then I remembered just how happy I was to be in a theater in that realm again.
Yeah.
And there were so many things that I did really like about it. I think Mitch didn't like it as much as I did. But the one scene where she's like in the car freaking out watching his
Oh, I love that scene.
being taken out of the max security or whatever it was. I was so emotional. Like I couldn't imagine it. So that's number 9. Number 8, Pyewacket.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think that was my number 8 too.
That movie creeped the hell out of me. And I think you know what scene I'm talking about.
Yep. We all had the heebie-jeebies.
Heebie-jeebies. And I wasn't expecting it to be... I don't know. It surprised me.
It's because it wasn't that scary, and then at the very, very end, it was so fucking scary.
Yeah. Number 7 is Overlord. And there's another thing. This movie was not at all what I was expecting. I wanted the whole thing to be Nazi zombies and blah, 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 blah. But it was so much more than that. And I think I ended up liking it a lot more because of the direction that they took it in. It just took me a while to think about it.
Yeah, we're definitely dating. Because we agree on that.
Number 6, The Predator.
Yes, and that was my number 6
I'm
too.
the only one who didn't have that on my list.
Honestly, that could have been easily top 2 or 3 for me.
Me too.
I think it's so much fun. We just rewatched it again a couple weeks ago, and I already want to watch it again just because it's so much fun.
Thank you, Lee Beckman, for the Lee. I forgot to mention that at the beginning. Courtney's sitting right in front of it right now. We have a full official one sheet of The Predator 2018 in the podcast room now.
Yeah, where it's
Lee
the
Beckman
skulls
gave
making the skull.
Oh, it's the best.
Predator skull.
It's awesome.
I fucking love that movie.
Okay, so here's where things get really tough because my top 5 could have all been a top 1.
Holy smokes!
What?
You're so generous.
Yeah, you're gonna be with Buzi.
What?
Just keep. I know that she's got definitely some shit. Same as you.
Yeah.
Just keep going.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
So number 5.
I love lists.
Number 5, when I originally watched it, I walked out of the movie theater saying that is my number 1 of the year, and I think it was the first movie we saw of the year, A Quiet Place.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
Was that not the first one we saw?
Yeah,
That was pretty
no.
close. It would have to been pretty close.
I think it was February
Yeah,
or March.
February or March.
Yeah.
I think it was March.
But as soon as we left the theater, I'm like, it's my number 1. There's nothing going to beat it. And you know what? Still love it. We've watched it twice now.
Yeah.
Still love it. And I know it got some...
No, people love that movie. It's good. It won best horror sci-fi movie this year.
Yeah,
from,
it did.
What was the awards? Do you know? Okay.
If it wasn't in the headline, I don't know.
Yeah.
No, I really liked that movie. Number 4, Annihilation. We've only seen it once. I really want to watch it again. I bought the book series to read.
You make me sick.
So yeah, next time
What?
you're on here, you're gonna be like, well, actually, the book is better than the movie.
Of course I am.
No,
yeah.
she won't. 'Cause I've heard that if you've seen the movie first, the book isn't as good.
Natalie Portman is my favorite actress on the face of the planet. I love everything she does. She does not do a bad movie ever. Other than
Wasn't
that,
she in some prequels?
Yeah. She was in
we don't
the-
talk about that. We don't talk about that.
Natalie Portman's been in a lot of bad movies.
No, she has not recently, anyways. So number 4, Annihilation. Number 3 is The Ritual.
Nice. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
pretty high.
I loved that movie.
I think out of any of us, that would be Ritual was highest for her then, right?
Yeah, it was my 4.
It was
Or no,
somewhere
my
on all our,
5.
yeah, it was somewhere on all of our lists, I think, except for Diego.
Yeah.
I didn't have a single moment where I wasn't enjoying it.
Yeah, it was awesome.
I loved it. I loved it a lot. Can't wait to watch it again and again and again. So
Is this 2 and 1 now?
2 and 1.
Just like freaking out.
I am. I had a freaking anxiety attack about this, and you know which are my top 2.
Do I?
Yeah.
Just wait.
So
I know one.
I think I know one of them at least.
The-
One, but the thing is, like, I'm surprised Cloverfield Killer isn't this high for you.
No.
Okay, I thought that was
Okay,
for sure.
let's hear it.
Yeah.
Let's hear it.
So number 2 is Mandy,
Oh
Wow.
yeah, I know this. Yeah, okay.
and it went back and forth between 2 and 1.
Yeah,
Back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. I watched it twice, and I just couldn't believe how much I loved a Nicolas Cage movie, to be honest with you, because I don't like him, but now
It's
apparently
such a
I do.
Nicolas Cage movie too.
Yeah, I couldn't believe it, but like everything about it, I
You're
loved
telling
it.
me you don't like The Wicker Man? Where wasn't she on for a Wicker
Yeah,
Man?
she chose the Wicker Man.
I like the original Wicker Man, and obviously number 1's Hereditary.
Yeah.
Like,
So 4 out of 4.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
4 out of 4 what?
Like Hereditary was our number 1 too. You should start listening to the show.
Yeah, all of us unanimous
Yeah.
was we're pretty weird with we like our lists differ so much until it gets to like the number ones.
Yeah.
Well, and that's
Boozy
kind
put
of
in
the
a Quiet
reason-
Place.
Oh, you had A
no,
Quiet Place?
no,
I didn't.
The Open House.
Yes, I heard.
That was my number 10.
I'm sorry, I can't talk about it. But I just thought that it was nice as well. Very cohesive for me to start and finish my list off with 2 witch movies.
That's what I wanted to do too.
So
I'm excited to buy Suspiria and watch it again because I think that it's
going
going
to
to
be
go.
better at home.
Oh, 100% it will be.
Yeah.
Not in uncomfortable seats. Are you kidding? It's going to be awesome.
So my 2 honorable mentions, and this first one, all day today, it was like, what number am I putting at? What number am I putting at? The Clovehitch Killer.
I'm actually surprised it didn't make your list. That is
Honestly, I'm
I'm
such a good
surprised it didn't
movie.
make mine either. I liked it quite a bit.
It
I
was,
had mine pretty high, I think.
Yeah.
yeah, and like, ask me tomorrow, it could change, but
No.
I really liked that movie a lot. And my second honorable mention, Unfriended Dark Web.
Yes,
I still haven't seen it.
Yes, I knew you were going to do that. It's awesome. It was really
so
good.
cool. It was so unsettling.
Yeah.
Me and you watched it, and I was we were both creeped out.
I liked it
after.
more than Searching.
Yes, I did too. I liked it way more than Searching.
Like Searching's probably a better movie.
Well, and
but
the-
Unfriended Dark Web was so much fun.
The original Unfriended.
Yeah.
We had you
Oh,
had
we-
seen.
yeah, we
I
watched
hadn't
after.
seen it, so we watched it right before we watched Unfriended Dark Web, and I loved both of them. And
Yeah,
I had
you
no
really didn't wanna
interest.
see it.
No, I had no interest in seeing because I don't like the social media back and forth, back and forth, back and forth things. It hurts my face. But yeah,
Awesome.
Thank you.
thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Courtney. Cool. Boozy, do you want to... What have you been watching?
Sure.
It's been a
Let's go
couple
with
weeks.
that. Okay, I also want to talk about something that I'm trying to do, and I'll probably fail by the end of the year. Is I'm trying to read one book every month because I buy a lot of books,
Yeah.
but I don't read them fast enough.
I want to do the same thing.
So I'm like, if I set a deadline of once a month, I can finish a book. That makes me happy, and then it
Yes.
justifies spending money on it, right? So first when I started reading, I'm not done this, so I can't talk a whole bunch about it. But for Christmas, actually, I got a copy of Thor, which is the book that Bad Moon is based off of, and I believe it was discontinued in like 1993 or something.
What?
So it's by Wayne Scott. It's a smaller book, and I was super excited to get it because I'm such a big fan of Bad Moon. And the whole book is from the point of view of the dog.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
So wait, Wayne Smith?
Yeah.
Okay,
It's called Thor by Wayne Smith. So I'm going to try and have that done by the end of this month.
Do you
And
want to make a deal?
Sure.
Or like me and you, one book a month?
Sure.
For
Yeah,
2019?
I'm just really excited. It wasn't even like a one of those like resolution. I don't like the whole resolution thing. It was just like I have all these books and I need to start reading them.
Can I interrupt you for 2 seconds?
Sure.
Super fun thing. I don't know if you've heard of it. It's an app on your phone called Goodreads.
Okay.
I've had it
I've heard. Isn't this something
It's
that?
Letterboxd, but books.
Yes.
Okay.
So here's the fun thing, though.
I think I've heard it plugged on podcasts
is
before.
The last couple years, they've been doing a reading challenge where at the beginning of the year you start a goal for yourself.
Okay.
But it's not a goal; it's a challenge. So I want to read this many books.
Sure.
And blah blah blah. So every time you read one, you rate it and add it to your read list, and it updates your challenge.
Oh, cool.
So last year, I knew I couldn't read at the amount that I was reading before. It just wouldn't happen. So I set my goal of 12 books. And I finished my 12th book on December 31st. And the year before that, I had set my goal of 50 books.
Holy fuck.
And I think I only got to like 28 or something.
That's still
like
really
that.
good. What do you mean only?
It's because she wasn't dating anyone.
Well, no, and I worked at a bar, so my shifts sometimes would be 2 hours. So then I was like, well, I'm going to sit at the bar and drink beer and read for 3 hours. I had so much more time, but it's really nice, and it's like, it's good progress to see, and the app is really cool because it gives you a bunch of ideas for books that you wouldn't know, and you can add them to your
See,
like,
I need something like that
want-to-read
too,
list.
where like it gives me recommendations because I'm like,
It's a really well done app. You should download it, and everyone should download it. And you guys should set a reading challenge for yourself because it's
okay,
really fun.
reading challenge.
Well, so, like, I know, because honestly, I don't want to give a quick shout out to them. They're, like, not to cop their shit, because I know that it's not, there's nothing original about podcasts anymore at all, but our friends in Erie International they do, like, a literary episode every once in a while, but their episode with Laird Barron last year was one of my favorite episodes of a podcast all year, so shout out to them. But, like, maybe we can do, like, an episode where we bring Courtney on for a book or something like that.
Yeah,
So,
I would
know
love to start doing things outside of just movies. That'd be
I know
awesome.
Tara, my sister, also would like to do something like that, so that'd be cool to maybe get the four of us and all pick
Yeah,
one
we
book.
got the ball rolling on this. Okay,
Book club.
Oh my god, are we doing a book club?
Oh my God.
Oh my god.
okay, I'm gonna go on to what I've watched now. Now that you guys got that out of your way. First thing I watched, Ghost Stories. It's on Netflix.
Is it on Netflix?
Yeah,
We watched it.
I really liked
I
it.
liked it a lot too.
I saw you post it, and I'm like, I felt bad because like I would have, because I think you were, or no, it was Seb was like, I gotta watch the last couple. Like, what movie should I force myself to watch before I make my list or everything? And Ghost Stories was on there, and I was just like, I don't think it's gonna be one of your favorites. And he texted me back. He's just like, he fucking loved Ghost Stories.
Yeah, I actually hadn't really heard anything about it. I remember seeing the poster for it and thinking it
There's
was
a couple
cool.
different posters.
Yeah, like they have some really cool artwork for it, but actually watching it, it was so good. And I can't even say like which story out of them was my favorite because they're all fantastic. I think the first one was really good.
Which one was that one again?
It's the ones in the hospital, I think.
That's it's the
No.
it's the night shift
Yeah.
security guards.
Yeah, it's kind of like Session 9.
Yeah, that was
Oh,
it was
it's like,
really
it's like
good.
the abandoned
Yeah.
building thing.
I felt like it like didn't like and I know that's a thing, that's a problem with like most anthologies, but that one, the whole wrap up really bothered me.
I have found that I really like anthologies, and I thought I hated them.
I can't remember even how this movie, like, that's why
really like it is the biggest left turn you'll see in a movie. I don't want to give it away, but they
so
literally
you liked the wrap up?
yeah, they did something I'd never seen before.
Yes, because they make it seem like it's going to be that thing that pisses you off so much, and then it's not, right?
Yeah, and then it flips everything. I really
Yeah.
enjoyed
Maybe
that.
I need to watch it again.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Okay. I also watched When a Stranger Calls from 2006, and I take a lot of flack for liking it, but I really like that movie.
See, I've never watched it to completion.
Really?
It's fucking horrible.
I like it. I think it's great.
Is that Camille girl or whatever the heck?
Yeah, she
is?
like didn't really have much of a career.
No.
Caterpillar Eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
But you like it.
Yeah.
So I'd probably like it.
I think
You
it's
would.
just because it reminds me a lot of, and this is not to take it that it's directly involved, but like
Urban
it's
legend.
no, but so much the idea of like Black Christmas, where it's like what's going on in the house kind of thing, and I like the urban legend idea of When a Stranger Calls.
Yes.
So I actually think it's a fine movie. I enjoyed watching it.
She got
and
her
that's
eyebrows trimmed
That's
down
a
since
remake
then.
too, right?
Yeah.
That movie
The original
originally
one's from,
came
like,
out, the
70 something.
Yeah.
When a Stranger Calls Back is awesome. Like the
See,
sequel.
I'm
Really?
trying to get through and watch all of
They-
these.
Did we
The old
watch?
one?
Did
Yeah.
we watch those?
Yeah, I'd be down.
'Cause
The first one's kind of boring.
Just the urban legend idea of it,
Yeah.
like it's such a cool concept that
I
I
like
don't
it.
feel
the
like
whole
I get.
Black Christmas
Yeah,
thing.
I don't get bored of that concept. It's such a simple, fun concept.
Yeah.
Next up, I rewatched, because Tyler hadn't seen it, so we sat down and watched The Autopsy of Jane Doe again.
Oh.
So it was his first time seeing it, and it was my second time. I forgot how gory it is and like gross. I was eating for half of it, and then I didn't want to eat anymore. Yeah, because they go like hard with the autopsy stuff.
Do you still like it?
Yeah, I do. I
So
like
good.
it a lot.
I didn't finish it. I fell asleep.
Shut the fuck up.
Really?
You still haven't finished it?
No.
Courtney, I watched, like, that's when we first started dating. I watched it 4 times that week.
Yeah, of course you did, because I wasn't there.
That's a really good movie. I definitely
so
recommend
good.
it. And they're so good at setting up all the tools that they're going to use throughout the movie. They show them all at the start, and they explain why they use all of them. So I like that a lot. I kind of hate when movies just throw things in like this because it's scary. There's no like reason for it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I also like the dynamic between Emile Hirsch and Brian Cox.
Yeah.
Even though this was like right around the time Emile Hirsch was beating up his agents, female agents.
No, I didn't know that, but
He chokeslammed his agent when he was drunk.
well, maybe it was for the world title. Next thing I watched Black Mirror. I watched the movie thing.
Bandersnatch?
Bandersnatch, yeah.
And?
We started it, but
For myself, it's not great as a movie. It's a fun concept, and I think other people are going to come along and do it better. Do you know what I mean? Like
100%.
It's groundbreaking for what it is, but
Even
other
though they're
movies are going to do it better.
well, if they don't all get sued.
Exactly, yeah, because they're getting sued for that right now.
Yeah, fuck off.
I still
But-
haven't finished it, but like honestly, from what I have heard, it's the worst Black Mirror thing yet,
And this is the first Black Mirror thing I've ever seen.
which is such a shame.
And
That is insane, Buzi. It's so
I think
crazy.
like the way I'd recommend it is I sat down, there was 5 of us all together and we watched it, and every time there was an option we would yell, and whoever had the most yelling for something we'd do that.
Okay, so the story could have been a little bit better amidst all of people screaming at each other.
But that's what made it fun for me, is that like
Yeah,
if I was sat down and forced to watch that, and I probably would have got to one ending and then go like, okay, maybe I'll try one more, and that would have been done. We did like, I'm pretty sure we got every single different ending because it forces you back to certain points to get the other endings. So that was fun, where all of us were trying to figure out like, okay, we did this, so we had to do this. I think if I sat down and watched it by myself, though, I probably wouldn't have got very much enjoyment out of it.
It's crazy because like I love Black Mirror, and like I get that this is a cool concept and it's something new, but like I just haven't been in the mood for it. Like I want to just watch a movie.
Yeah, no, it
Like,
was
even like I just want to watch a fucking real Black Mirror episode. But I get it's a cool one-off thing. I'm gonna still watch it.
yeah, and I would recommend it. Do it with friends. Have an odd number of people, and do it with your friends, and you can vote. And that's
Frosted
where you have
Flakes or
fun.
Sugar Puffs.
Frosted Flakes.
Fucking right, buddy. Give me a high five.
See, I want sugar puffs.
No, 'cause
No.
you're wrong.
Another thing about this, the one actor, the guy who's like working at the place, Will
Poulter.
Will Sasso.
Will Poulter.
Yeah, he was gonna be Pennywise originally.
I have been saying for years that he is the frickin' next door bully from Toy Story. For years.
I said that while we were watching it.
And now it's all over the internet. And I'm like, I've been saying this for years, but no one listens to me.
They probably planned it that way a little bit too, like with
Maybe. I don't know. But he's been in
He's
lots
just
of
he's
stuff.
just
He's in
missing
the
a
Maze
skull
Runner.
shirt, and he would totally
Yeah.
be.
Exactly. It's like,
We Are the Millers.
it just pissed me off. I'm like, hey, I don't, like, obviously.
Obviously. All right, that's all I've watched.
That's
So
all?
you guys can.
Cool. We've just seen 2 things, but I think we can talk about them both at length a little bit here. But
Yeah.
do you want me to lead it here? Do you want me to lead it?
Go for it.
Courtney and I watched The House with a Clock in Its Walls. Directed
Oh yeah,
by-
I watched that in theaters.
Yeah, directed by Eli Roth, family-friendly horror movie starring Kate Blanchett and Jack Black, and also had Kyle MacLachlan, who's Agent Cooper from Twin Peaks. He's in it as well. Huh?
I said Coop.
Coop. Yeah, the story, like, man, okay, so let's just talk about this a little bit. I thought it was great.
I
Yeah,
loved it.
I think it's definitely going to raise a new generation of people who are going to get into horror. This is going to be a good gateway
The
for
thing
them.
is, though, is
It's-
I would not take my 5-year-old child to that movie.
That's where I want to talk about this a little bit, because everyone has been saying it's too scary for kids, too scary for kids. I'm like, yeah, but you know what? I grew up watching Beetlejuice. Like, but the thing is, Beetlejuice terrified me.
Yeah, it was scary as a kid.
Okay, first of all, Eli Roth's best movie by far. For sure.
Yeah.
Like, this is 100% his
Yes.
best movie. But the thing is, like, it is so I don't know what the demographic was for this movie, because it's like it's too kiddie for adults, but then it's way too fucking scary for kids.
I think we are the demographic that he...
Just like horror fans who are okay with
who want a little bit of whimsy.
Yeah, but
Like,
the thing is, it's still very kiddie at times. Like,
Yeah.
how old do you think? Because here's the thing: I was watching Child's Play when I was in grade 1, but I'm not every single kid.
I didn't watch scary movies at least till I was about 12.
Okay, so I have 3 nieces. When would you show? Because I guarantee you that this would fucking destroy Gracie, my oldest one.
I would not show this to Gracie until she was 10.
I was going to say 10's like a good...
10 is perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like 10, because that's even while we were. But the thing is, the first half of it, it's like, what are people talking about? Like it's not. Yeah, of course it's
All the
it's
creepy
spooky,
stuff happens in the second half.
but then it gets like real fucking scary. Like,
Well, and I just couldn't believe it. Like, this isn't a...
it's not scary for me, but like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't think this is a spoiler by any means, but like Kate Blanchett, her character, she's a freaking Holocaust survivor. It's like it gets
I don't know if that's
so
yeah.
dark. It's like, I wonder how her family like.
Yeah, but I mean, kids aren't going to look that deep into it.
No, but as a
yeah,
you know, I was like, oh, like I got so sad, and it's so there's so many things that are so dark that as a kid you wouldn't understand.
I think, and that's where it adds layers for the adults watching.
Exactly.
Like, this is one that, say, the day that we do have kids and they're like 10 years old, or depending on if they're into this kind of shit or not.
I would love to show that to a kid.
But yeah, so that like something like that is kind of like a storyline where the adults will pick up on, where like the kids will be more interested in that coach that barks.
Yeah.
Like
Or
that's
100%.
yeah.
I love the pumpkins.
Yep.
The
Yeah, the
pumpkins
pumpkins
are so
are so cuties.
But
And-
there's that little snake guy thing. Holy and okay, like without
Like
any
her-
spoilers, there's like a Benjamin Button scene. Do you know what I'm talking
Yeah.
about? Yeah.
Oh my god.
I was like, I don't know if I'm terrified or that's hilarious.
Well, there's like the whole Jason Hamill war montage that happens.
I love how
was
Jason
like-
Hamill's a verb now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought like everyone was perfect in that movie.
Yeah.
I thought like the kid was kind of, I don't know, cutesy enough that you're like you can relate, I guess. Do you know what I
tell he's going to be a star.
Yeah.
He's going to be a
He's
star
gonna
on
be a
Broadway.
Yeah, but like that was fun, and like I think Jack Black's character was fun. Even when he like had like the darker moments, he felt very welcoming, and I think that helps a lot with kids' movies.
He actually didn't just Jack Black it all up the whole
No.
time.
Very true.
Which is like what you're expecting, because like that's the thing too, is it's like he's kind of shooting himself in the foot by doing a movie like this and Goosebumps, like because they're both
That's what I thought
Very
too.
similar
thought
subject
to be
ma-
similar,
yeah.
but things are actually quite different.
Yeah.
But I thought Jack Black and Kate Blanchett's chemistry was awesome.
Yeah.
That was probably the
Genuinely
best
fucking
part.
hilarious.
Their bickering
was
is
funny.
so funny.
Yeah.
She's like, stab me in the ears
Yeah.
whenever he talks. I'm like, oh, girl, I get you.
Yeah, and like there are some like even like there's some like transformation scenes. Like it's kind of like it's akin to like a Harry Potter movie in the sense of like the scary parts. But like the thing is, okay, so let's talk about this though, because I watched Child's Play, John Carpenter's Vampires, Friday the 13th, all that stuff when I was a kid. Didn't scare me at all. I watched Beetlejuice, which is geared for kids, and it fucking ruined me. Ernest Scared Stupid was the most scared I've ever been from a movie.
Ernest Scared
Like,
Stupid.
when
terrified me
I
as
was
a
a kid,
child.
it's like,
Yep.
and I think it's because they're marketed for kids, and you're led to believe that it's going to be a safe thing for you.
Yeah, your brain's geared towards I'm in a safe place
It's
with
like, oh,
this.
this is for kids.
Yeah.
So and then they've like, but the thing is, like, the troll in Ernest Scared Stupid is the scariest fucking thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's way too scary for kids. And like, that's what like I feel like the house with its clock in its walls could be an Ernest Scared Stupid for kids at some point, because like there's like a certain image in this movie that was like really goddamn creepy. I liked it a lot, but I don't know. I
In
want
the
to know what you guys
forest?
thought about it. Yes.
Yeah. I just thought about myself as a child, and that one thing in the forest, I was like, I don't think I could have handled that.
So like my only problem with it, and it's something I totally understand, so I won't like be upset about it, is it felt very rushed at the ending. Like they had to wrap it up as quick as
Yes.
possible.
Yes.
And I get it because it's for kids, but I don't know if you can always use that crutch of it's a kids movie, so it's allowed to. Do you know what I mean?
No, that's, don't get me wrong. I don't think it's a perfect movie or anything. I was just like, it was just
For what it was.
For what it was, it was
Yeah.
enjoyable. Like it's a 3 out of 5 for me.
Plus,
like,
how many like spooky kids movies do you get anymore of that
Absolutely.
same kind of
no,
ilk?
it's
We're not in the
definitely one.
days of Hocus Pocus and stuff anymore,
Yeah.
you know?
It could be a Hocus Pocus for some kids somewhere though. Like it
I hope
was
is.
good.
I liked it. Good job, Eli Roth. That's the only time I'll say that.
We hope not. Okay, and then going on from that, just one more thing. if you were to ask me what are 3 things that you get, okay, what's one thing that you for sure would never see yourself doing on a Sunday off? Like a Sunday that I have off, I got nothing to do. At the top of the list would be binge watching Netflix's You.
I don't even know what You is.
You don't know what it is?
No.
Courtney, do you want to take it away?
I would love to.
Okay, so we are 8 episodes into You.
We watched 8 episodes yesterday. So the main character is the main character from Gossip Girl. He played Dan Humphries. Penn Badgley. Penn Badgley is his name.
Yeah, that's his name. And he's also in John Tucker Must Die.
You're pretty much just saying gibberish to me, and I'm... Yes.
But that's exactly why I had a hard time convincing Mitch to watch it. But it's about a guy who's basically a stalker towards a girl. He's in love with a girl and he stalks her. So it's basically like a 10-episode swimthon.
Okay.
Right? So obviously that's exactly what I want to watch on a Sunday.
Sure.
But
people are describing it as Gossip Girl meets Dexter.
Yeah. So we went to a friend's house on Saturday, just quick for a couple drinks. And every single one of them was like, you guys, you need to watch You. You need to watch You. And so we put it on yesterday, kind of whatever. If we don't like it, I'll
Courtney
finish
was going to love it.
Yeah,
she would
I was
love
going to love it no
matter
matter what. But it was like, if Mitch doesn't like it, then I can finish it by
so
myself.
this has turned into the new Bird Box. We've shifted from Bird Box to You now, where
No,
everyone
You's been out before Bird
okay.
Box. Yeah.
But how clever is this? What are you watching on Netflix right now? Oh, I'm watching You. Get it?
Okay.
Because it's about a stalker.
I'm gonna leave.
Yeah,
now.
I'll take over here for a quick second. So You is a show that I had zero interest in watching. Gossip Girl, of course I'm not going to watch it. I'm not 12 years old. I'm not a 12-year-old girl. There's nothing wrong with people who like, no, but...
You make fun of me all the time for watching Gossip Girl.
Yeah, no, okay, but here's the thing is like, it's not for me.
No, of course not. It wasn't, no.
Yeah, like it's a book written for teenagers, is it not?
Yes.
Okay, so like of course a lot of people still enjoy it, but there's no reason for me to want to watch a show like this where people are comparing it to Gossip Girl. But then the whole Dexter thing, I was like, yeah, that sounds interesting. Like Dexter was good for like a season out of 10. But this show has Lou Taylor Pucci, who plays the guy with the glasses in the Evil Dead remake. He's also the main character in Spring.
Oh, okay, yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Okay.
Yeah.
And yeah, basically, I thought I would really hate the show, but I end up being pretty into it.
It's really cool.
I like it. The thing is, though, it is very... I don't want to say teeny, but I do think the demographic for this
Is it like Scream?
No. I would say the demographic for this is 15-year-old girls to 28-year-old girls.
I was gonna say 18 to 25 is what they're aiming for.
Okay.
Yeah,
so there's a lot of texting and
I feel like the reason that people are comparing it to Gossip Girl is because that's
He's
the
in
only
it.
thing that they know
Yeah.
him from.
Yeah.
And it's based in New York. Like, of course you're going to compare it. It's nothing like Gossip Girl.
Yeah, and here's the thing: do not get me wrong, because I'm trying not to overhype this, because I don't want to overhype a show that I'm like, it's good. It was a good way to pass the day, and like we're gonna finish this episode tonight, and we're gonna go and finish it tonight.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Like I really enjoyed it, but I don't want to be like, oh, everybody's got to watch
No.
You.
No.
It's not like that. But the thing is, it is enjoyable, and I'm not meaning to say that it's even remotely as close to as brilliant as this. But what I like about it is you can tell it's based on a book, I believe by Caroline Kepnes or something like that. Anyways,
something like that.
yeah, you could tell that she was heavily influenced by American Psycho.
Yes.
Because that's the thing is like
that's a nice buzzword right there.
Yeah, well, and that's the thing is
They mentioned some horror stuff.
Oh, 100%.
Just in passing, because it's the guy who's the stalker is a bookstore clerk.
Okay.
So there's lots of literary things. So that's like, I love that, right? That's my dream job. Work at a freaking bookstore? Hell yeah.
Yeah, and the comparisons to like Dexter and everything is because you have his inner monologue going the whole time. So he's like, he has a run-in with this girl this is all in the first like 10 minutes of the show. He has this girl comes in, buys a book. They share, like you hear his inner monologue, and it's basically the whole, oh, this girl wants to fuck me type thing, and like he's convinced he's a sociopath, and you're listening to him. But what I like about it and what I find most interesting about it is I want to know, like, I think that a lot of the people watching the show don't pick up on that. Like, I think younger people who are watching this aren't realizing that he's crazy.
Yeah.
Until
it starts getting crazy.
Yeah, because it seems like, oh, no, he just cares, and he's into this girl, and he's actually kind of romantic.
And that's the problem, though, is that people are watching this and being like, oh, well, it's romanticizing this...
That's exactly what it's
crazy behavior, and it's like, it is, but it's sad that that's a thing, that people are so fucking stupid that they can't. Yeah,
just because this isn't like a spoiler, it's like a 5 seconds of episode 1, but it gives you kind of an idea. I was like, should I share this or should I not? I feel like I would have wanted this shared if I was debating watching the show, but one of the scenes that I really like is he breaks into this woman's house, and she gets home, and he has to hide, so he hides in her, because he's looking through all of her stuff, and he hides in her shower, and she goes and she's in the bathroom, and she's talking on her phone, and the tension's up. Like, there's actually real tension in the show too, but she goes and she turns the shower on, so he's getting wet, but he has to still be quiet because he's still hiding. And like his inner monologue starts going. He says, I've seen enough romantic comedies to know that guys like me always get ourselves into situations like this. And it's like, I think that's brilliant.
Yeah.
Like, because he's
shit.
He's comparing it to.
He's normalizing things.
He's 100. He thinks that, and like that's why he's like, oh yeah, your phone's unlocked. You want me to see this? Like,
it's wild.
It's really creepy, and it's like it's really well.
And that's
done.
in episode 1.
Yeah.
Oh, I feel like I have to watch that now.
You might like it. Like I have no idea what to gauge with you anymore, but I'm surprised with how much I'm liking it, and I know Courtney is really enjoying it too.
Not to go off on like too much of a tangent, have you guys watched any of Murder Mountain?
Yeah,
yes.
I just started watching that.
First 2 episodes we watched.
Yeah,
it's
I really
pretty
like
interesting.
It.
Yeah,
totally.
It's the most beautiful. Thing I've ever seen. It looks like British Columbia, but like better because it's California, right?
Yeah, it's Humboldt, California.
Humboldt County, and I had just finished listening to something about that, but yeah, it reminds me of another missing person's case that I just listened to about on a podcast. So I got really into it because I was like, this is just exactly.
Well, that's kind of what hooked me. Is like, it's a mountain full of missing people. I'm like, missing people is the most interesting thing to me.
Exactly, me too. Yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
I'd like to keep watching it.
You liked Pet, hey?
Yeah, I did.
Watch You.
Yeah.
Okay.
You should start, and it's also like it's.
I felt like dirty for saying that I liked that movie.
Oh, I know.
I liked Pet.
We liked it too.
Yeah.
Yeah. But because it has like. This isn't a spoiler. It's not like Pet, but it's kind of like Pet.
It's got a little bit of like self-righteousness going on.
Either way, last couple of things I'll say about it is that it is just like it definitely shines light on how poisonous romantic comedies are and how they are on people, and how like people have such a like diluted sense of what's romantic and what's not, and what's normal and what's not. And this show, like, that's the best thing that it's doing, is it's like shining light on that. But at the same time,
it's whether people pick up on that.
And that's the thing, is I think
exactly.
I'm not saying, oh, if you're a teenage girl you're stupid. That's not what I'm saying.
I was a teenage girl. I don't
want to say that just as teenage girls though. Like, teenage boys are the same way.
No, that's what I'm trying to say. Is like that's what I'm trying to say. Is I don't want to say it, but I do think this is one of those things where I'm like, you know, this, like, a lot of people, like, boys could see this and think that he's just being like the ultra romantic guy.
Yeah, like why isn't she picking up on any of this? Like, no, this is creepy.
He is the Michael Jordan of stalkers. Like, he is.
He's
like,
throwing threes.
Yeah. He's fucking good. But okay, yeah, that's all we saw. I guess we can get on to. We'll take a quick break and we'll get on to news and then on to our main feature. So we'll be right back with some motherfucking news. Booze.
Welcome back for what feels like the first news in like forever. This is the first one of 2019 at least.
Woohoo!
I only have a couple of things, so it can be pretty quick. Mitch, this is one you tagged me in. It's about a Ted Bundy documentary that is coming out on Netflix. It's called Conversations with a Killer. Now, usually I'm pretty stoked for serial killer documentaries anyway, but this one really caught me because they'd mentioned that there is audio that hasn't been released before of him before he was put to death. So that's kind of interesting to hear about, because he kind of like flipped towards the end after he had been caught, and he was saying that pornography was originally.
Oh, shut the fuck up, Ted.
Do you know what I'm talking about? Like,
yes.
Classic Ted.
Well, yeah, he kind of like, being this like stone cold killer, and all of a sudden he's like, it was pornography that made me do it, blah blah, and he flipped in prison, and he just
Did you watch the trailer?
I did not watch the trailer. I just read about it, and I was very interested.
I saw the tag, but work was so insanely busy today that I didn't even get a chance to open the article. I just liked it immediately because it was Ted Bundy.
Yeah.
So
it's just weird hearing him. Like, I'm gonna spoil one part of the trailer.
I want to watch the trailer, but
trailer.
by the time I saw you tag me, I was like, oh, I have to get over to actually podcast.
Yeah. In the trailer, even he says at one point, he's just like, I'm just a normal guy. And it's like, just hearing those words come from Ted Bundy is like really haunting. But what makes this one so interesting, though, for me is that, because like obviously true crime has become like, it's an empire at this point.
I love it. I'm so happy.
Like, it's awesome. We can't get enough of good true crime, but there's so much garbage out there. But what I have faith about in this one is it's directed by Joe Berlinger, who is the director of the upcoming Zac Efron movie, the extremely wicked, shockingly evil and vile.
They should have put a better name that's a little bit easier to.
I know,
but
but
whatever.
I kind of like the name though. Like, with it being so.
That seems more like a tagline and less like a title of a movie.
There's also a woman who's been doing a documentary on Ted Bundy as well. That was in the news a little bit ago, but she just needed help with like funding or something like that. I don't know. Frick.
I like because
hers sounded really, really cool too.
Yeah, like this one's coming out through Netflix, which is cool. But also like the fact that it's Joe Berlinger. Like Joe Berlinger, he did the Paradise Lost films, like the West Memphis 3 movies. He did the Metallica, some kind of monster documentary, which is fucking hilarious.
Yeah, it is. Unintentionally hilarious.
Yeah, but it's amazing. Like regardless, he did an incredible job with that movie. Like it is an unbelievable movie.
I just like I could listen and read
Metallica all day. I know, me too.
Ted Bundy stuff all day. Like The Stranger Beside Me's book was so good.
Yeah, no, and okay, so Joe Berlinger also directed Whitey, the United States versus James Whitey Bulger.
I need to see that.
Yeah, it's really good.
Oh my god.
Yeah, oh my god. But he also directed a movie called Blair Witch 2: Book of Shadows. But that's it's not his fault. But he is the one who, like, he was hard to do it. They did that movie within a year.
Yeah.
Like, it's an anomaly. But I am excited to see him try out like an actual narrative film again, like with Zac Efron. So I'm really looking forward to that. But so that's Conversations with the Killer, the Ted Bundy tapes. And it's coming to Netflix on January 24th.
Hell yeah.
And this kind of little tie-in, just because it's things we talked about today about serial killers, and then again about reading. There's actually a book out right now, I believe, and it's called A Serial Killer's Daughter. And it's by Carrie Rouson, who is BTK's daughter. And it's
what?
Yeah, and it's all about like her growing up with him and not knowing anything about this, because she was 26 when he got caught. So she'd spent her whole life knowing it's just your dad. So I think
imagine?
that would be I think that would be a very interesting book
for me. Like, to me, he's the worst.
He is the worst.
And that a lot of the Clovitch Killer reminded me obviously
it was kind of framed after
there was a lot. The Clovitch Killer was cool, and I had planned on
talking to the mic.
I'd planned on doing this before the show. I just didn't have time. But when we were watching it, I'm like, oh, that's so and so. Oh, that's so and so. And it's like I could draw parallels to so many different serial killers. Sorry, can you tell me the name of that book?
Oh geez, sorry. A Serial Killer's Daughter. And it's by Carrie Rawson, which is Rawson. So yeah, go check that one out if you can. That one's really interesting.
Thank you. That's so cool.
Next one. This is Mitch, something you'd kind of already mentioned, but yeah, the owners of Choose Your Own Adventure are suing Black Mirror over their newest thing, which is a weird thing to sue somebody over.
I don't know too much about it, but I feel like they're going to have quite a tough time doing it, considering how many other people have
Goosebumps did it for years.
Yeah, exactly.
Aren't they seeking like $27 million in damages?
Probably.
Yeah,
because they're really hurting, right? Like
how many people like video games have countless times.
It's a weird thing that you can be like, this narrative is something that we do. It's like, no, that's the common narrative. You can't take that away.
Because the video game thing is so true, isn't that always you get to one point, you do this or that?
Yeah. What about Until Dawn? Like that. Yeah. And like fucking so many things before that. Fable. Like. Really?
The next one is New Line. I believe I talked to us a little while ago. Has said that they're beefing back up to be horror. Because A24 and all these other Blumhouse is taking over the title of being kind of like the horror ones. So their way to get back in is rebooting Final Destination.
So with Marcus Dunstan and Patrick Melton, what do you think about this?
Are those
So they directed The Collector, The Collection, The Neighbor, and I really like.
I could get behind that.
The Neighbor.
I like The Neighbor.
But then they wrote like Saw 4 through 25.
Which I haven't seen.
As they
I've
got
only seen
progressively
episode 2.
worse.
Yeah, like Courtney, like I don't. I'm going to talk to you about this off air, but you're if you want to, you can. But I want to. Courtney and I are probably going to do an episode on all the Saw movies. If you don't want to do it, you don't have to.
I could, and honestly, like it would be awesome if I could get Tyler on here because he loves Saw.
I've only seen 1 to 3.
That's really all you need, but yeah.
I don't think I think I've missed a few. So I think I cut you off.
But the thing is like, do you guys want a?
Yes, I would watch it.
I'm not excited for it, but I will watch it.
I will watch it.
Okay, so you would actually be excited for that.
It's unnecessary.
It is unnecessary.
It is unnecessary, but it's like there's so many cool things that you could do.
They've already done it.
Yeah, but I would not.
I like the Final Destination series.
I do too. I like those movies a lot.
I think it's fine, but it's there's not enough story in any of those.
What? Mm-hmm. I take it back. I'm excited.
Okay.
I just took it back because first of all, I love the first Final Destination, and the
first one's awesome.
Second one's my favorite. Like I love
the whole opening with the cars and everything. That was the best part.
It's amazing.
Of it. Yeah.
And then 3 was like where it got like it was pretty rough, but it was still like
3 was still good, wasn't it?
No, it's bad, but it's good. Like that's where it became like it's fun. Like we're gonna get there again today, I'm sure.
But that's the thing is that it's such a small concept, and to stretch it out that far, what are they gonna do in a new one? Like obviously they're gonna have like more creative kills or whatever, but it's still such a basic thing.
Those are the guys to do it though. Like, because if you've seen the Collector and the Collection movie, like they definitely, and the Saw movies, like of course they're good picks to do this. But I to be honest with you, I haven't given this much thought since I heard about it. But now that I'm thinking about it, I'm like, what's the point of rebooting? There's like 6 of them already.
That's what I wanted to say is like not to take words, like take your narrative of it, but being like, what do I need out of this? And if someone was like, if someone asked us like even 2 years ago when we started this podcast is like, what would you like to see a reboot of from the early 2000s? Would I have said Final Destination? No, that would be nowhere even close to being on my list.
Not because they're bad, but because
they're unnecessary. Yeah. I find.
I would probably say The Babysitter's Club. It was a joke, Mitchell.
That's from the 90s, first of all.
No. Was it the 90s?
Yes.
No.
Babysitter. I own it on VHS.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure it came out in like 2000.
No, The Babysitter's Club came out in 1996.
That's such a random poll. All right, that's a good poll.
Sorry, it was just the first thing that popped into my head.
Came on. This is what our house is like constantly. No, but okay, yeah, so that's the thing is like none of them have been like appallingly bad, like because they're all fun.
They are, but in terms of
1995,
in terms of unnecessary, that's it just feels very unnecessary.
It does, but you know, okay, so we'll get there,
okay?
Because I want to talk about it some more. But I'm down. I'm always down to see people die in a cool way.
Well, and I think it'd be fun for you to get like a group of people.
Yeah, the Final Destination. Like
go to the movie. Like it'd be a fun night, you know.
It's better than Paranormal Activity 10 because I like the Paranormal Activity movies, but they ran their course. Like they ran out of steam completely.
Oh, don't worry. 10 years, it'll be back.
Yeah, but the thing is, there's always going to be cool ways to kill someone.
I guess, but we've complained in the last 2 and some years how often about reboots, remakes, all that shit. And this feels like something where it's like just shovel this through.
It totally does.
Yeah, I mean, those guys have made something awesome with, like you were saying, with the collector collection. They have all these great ideas of things they could do, and they're using that talent to reboot Final Destination.
Well, it seems like that's who they are, which sucks because I would like to see what they could do original, but like it doesn't seem like they have a whole bunch of them. But like that thing is, I think you didn't really like it that much, but we've only seen it the one time. But I'd like to watch The Neighbor again. The Neighbor by Marcus Dunstan, and
that was the good one, not The Good Neighbor, right? Neighbor was the good one.
The Neighbor was the one that we liked.
Neighbor was the good one. The Good Neighbor wasn't good.
Yes,
right.
That was the one with like James Caan. And
no, that one was cool. I would definitely watch that.
The Neighbor was the one with he's the dad in Insidious: The Last Key. Mm-hmm. I like him. Yeah, and he's in The Collector. I like those Collector movies too. They were fun. Yeah, stupid, but they're fun. Okay, well, yeah, kill people.
Yeah, and I have 2 last pieces of news, and they're very related to each other. So if you're listening, you're probably listening on Tuesday, which is the 15th, and Halloween has come out on Blu-ray, DVD, box sets, whatever.
Oh.
So you can get that. Yeah, you can go and get it today, tomorrow,
I'm
since
buying
we're
it.
recording it on
Yeah.
Monday.
Okay.
And also, Jamie Lee Curtis has finally gotten her Lifetime Achievement Award.
It's about time.
Congrats, girl.
Soleil, honey.
Which, good for her. Like, that's crazy to think that she's getting recognized for something like that. Because she's made a ton of things that aren't probably in the eye of pop culture as much.
No, but
Have you not seen Freaky Friday?
everyone says that. But at the same time, with everyone saying that, it shows how much of a cultural touchstone Freaky Friday was.
Well, did you guys watched Scream Queens, right? You've seen a couple episodes of Scream
Yeah,
Queen?
yeah. I didn't hate it, but I just didn't.
No,
wanna
I
keep
was
going.
just stoked to see Jamie Lee Curtis just be like the baddest bitch
Yeah.
again, but in a completely, you know what I mean?
Yeah, Freaky Friday posed the age-old question of would you still bang Lindsay Lohan if she was in Jamie Lee Curtis's body?
Yes.
With wow, I always gotta remember.
She didn't
that-
you didn't even hesitate on that one.
No, well, she has the Lindsay Lohan Playboy.
I love Lilo. Yeah, I have her Playboy.
Are-
Obviously.
it's really boring.
Are you still cheering for her?
100%.
Yeah?
I would go to her beach house.
But you're not cheering for her over Hilary Duff.
No, Hillary's my number one.
That's crazy. Like, it's crazy that you're
Hillary Duff's like actually a good person.
Yeah,
though.
but Hillary, yeah, exactly. Hillary
And
never went
she's-
off the deep end, other
Yeah.
than the whole eating disorder and the.
No, but
the
Hillary's
tooth
like, I got
extensions,
kids. I'm gonna settle down.
And the like blowjob after being proposed to. That was awesome.
I just love them both.
Yeah,
They
like,
both have amazing albums.
There's never a dull moment with them.
all right. So I guess we can go on to our main.
Did you
feature.
guys get the Family Channel
I
reference?
thought you said you had one more.
That was it.
Did you guys?
There are two
get
Halloween
the
ones.
Family
I did.
Channel?
I never watched Family Channel.
Did you watch the Family Channel? Of course you did. Lizzie McGuire show. Never
Yeah,
a
Lizzie
dull
McGuire.
moment.
Yes.
I used it. Okay, thanks. Just making sure you guys got my hilarious joke. Okay, we'll be back after we're going to play a little bit of the trailer for Escape Room, which came out on January 4th. We all had a chance to see it this weekend, and it was directed by Adam. Oh, well, we'll see you on the other side.
You want to control your life, but life isn't a science experiment. You can't contain your world forever. Try doing one thing that scares you over break, okay?
Yeah. This serves as an entry voucher
for Minos escape rooms.
Be the first to escape our most immersive room yet.
And win $1 million.
So, when does the game start?
And welcome to our main feature presentation, in which we will be discussing Escape Room, which came out on January 4th and was directed by Adam Robitel. And it was written by Baraji F. Shute, who also wrote the screenplay for Season of the Witch with Nicolas Cage, which is a guilty pleasure movie of mine. It is fucking horrible,
I
but
still
I
have never
love it.
finished it.
I don't think I've ever even heard of it.
Oh my god, it is so bad. I own it on Blu-ray.
You don't know what Season of the Witch is?
Courtney,
No, I don't think
how
so.
would he know?
I thought everyone knew what that was.
You don't know about Life Size?
Boozy does now.
Still got to see two.
Yeah. Anyways, so Escape Room is starring Deborah Ann Wool, who's from the Daredevil Netflix series.
Is she's the main girl?
Yeah, she's the
The
Okay.
redhead
Redhead,
from
yeah.
True Blood.
She's in True Blood too.
Yes.
Oh, bummer.
Oh,
Taylor Russell, who's in Lost in Space, which was also a Netflix show.
I'm sorry, who's that one?
She,
just
Was she the sorry
Zoe, her name's Zoe. in
the
it.
shy girl?
Yeah, the one on the
the
cover.
nerd. Yeah, the nerdy one.
Okay.
Tyler Labine, who is from Tucker and Dale versus Evil and Rise of the Planet of the Apes. And he's the guy from Zack and Miri Make a Porno who goes, hug it, chug it, football.
Is he the kind of loser guy?
Yeah, like
Yeah,
the fatter
okay.
one. Like,
Yeah.
I like him a lot.
Yeah.
Oh, he's fucking hilarious. I love that guy. Yeah, okay. So, yeah, it says him in it, as well as Logan Miller, who was in Scout's Guide for the Zombie Apocalypse.
I've seen that, and I totally forgot about that movie.
It was terrible.
Yeah.
It was bad, but there's one funny scene involving a zombie dick. I remember that. Like, it was fucking
Of course, you
hilarious.
remember the dick scene.
Yeah, of
Oh,
course.
it's
That was the first time we brought up. Oh no, sorry, second.
When did we talk about dicks?
The Golden State Killer's tiny dick.
Yes.
Oh, yes. Never forget. What did they say if he was circumcised?
I was
or
going
not?
to say I bet you he is.
No,
No.
he's
Because they
definitely
looked-
not. That's
Yeah.
uncircumcised rage.
Yeah, when youed neglected.
That is uncircumcised rage, but I feel like that would have been mentioned. It was really small, but
Are we
hooded.
allowed to make that the title of this episode?
Uncircumcised Rage? Please.
Okay, go on.
And Jay Ellis, who plays, he's Jason. He's the
Oh, the
The
guy.
suave
He's
dude.
the guy.
Yeah.
And then
Okay.
we got last but not least Nick Dodani, who is he plays Zahid in Atypical, which is another Netflix show, which is awesome. I'm a big fan of.
Is he
Atypical.
Captain Exposition?
The kid who loves escape rooms?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, Captain Exposition. That's all I could think of him as.
What is
Okay.
that?
Just he's there to explain what the plot is.
Yeah, without them smashing you on the head, he just comes in and he goes,
But
"Escape
he's-
rooms are these, blah 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 blah."
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like him.
Usually they're made up of this many
There's a
rooms and
game
blah blah.
master.
You have to look for a certain number and blah blah. Yeah, that was.
He's like the person who takes you on a tour of Jurassic Park before.
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
He's that kid.
okay.
Yeah. Okay. So, six strangers find themselves in circumstances beyond their control and must use their wits to survive. So these six strangers are put in an escape room. This is a classic tale of
That's a classic tale. An
there's
escape
nothing,
room.
There's nothing original about it.
Okay.
Before we begin,
Oh, okay.
Mitchell, you've never been in an escape room. I know that. Buzi, have you ever done
One.
an escape room?
One.
You
And-
have done one.
Yes.
I wanna
We
do one so
we
bad.
failed on the very last one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You liked it though, right?
It was okay. I don't get the hype. It was okay, but it doesn't seem as immersive. It's just like stand in this room and pick up objects.
Until you figure out what you're doing.
Yeah,
There's nothing. Yeah. It's for me. I had a really fun time because I'm good at puzzles,
Mm-hmm.
but it wasn't interactive enough for me. I felt like there needed to be more from the game.
Yeah, I would have liked if there was actually like people in there that you could
Yes.
interact with. Like I did this. It had to have been at least 4 or 5 years ago in Vancouver before I even had heard of them here.
Oh, yeah.
So it's probably far ahead now in terms of what an escape room is. But at the time, it just felt very bare bones. It was just kind of like a novelty. Like, oh, this is a new thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We will give you a spoiler warning.
Yeah.
So we'll talk about this for a couple minutes, and then we'll give you a spoiler
I
warning, and then we're going to fully dissect.
I have a question to pose.
Okay, should we first get out of the way how we feel about this movie, or do you want to go with
I
the
want to
question?
pose the question
Okay.
first. Okay. If you, who here would survive in an escape room?
I would.
No, you lost. You've already lost in one. A basic one. Like, you've only been in one escape room, and you've already lost.
Yeah, but
What?
I'm just saying, put into the scenario that okay,
Yeah,
no.
but...
if I was with
So you'd piggyback off somebody.
No.
no, I'm really good at puzzles.
But
Okay.
you failed in the one that you've been in.
Can I?
What,
It would.
that's funny.
It would depend on the people I was with.
Oh, you were with dummies.
No.
I think the only way I would succeed is to be a leech off of somebody.
Yeah, me too.
I have no patience, so
See, and that was my problem when I went to an escape room. I went with my coworkers, who I love to death. But I would stand there and watch them and just be like, "Can you get the fuck out of my way so I can please try this puzzle?"
Yeah.
yeah,
know?
like me walking into an escape room is like, where's the fucking number? Like that would be it.
I would say my best bet of surviving would be to leech off of Courtney. Mm-hmm. So I'm not saying, like, I would say that I put
So you'd like proxy win?
No, I put most of my confidence into Courtney, and I'll get into that when we start talking about the movie. But I also think that, and it's funny because I know that I don't need to do this because he's not going to listen to this anyways, but I think Diego would survive in an escape room.
Yeah,
Like, I
because
think-
he's a psychopath.
I just-
Sorry,
I
sorry.
What are you clarifying?
Where are you going with?
I was going to clarify between sociopath and psychopath, but he is a psychopath.
No, he's
Continue.
a sociopath. He's not a psychopath. No, he doesn't. No. I think Diego's really good at stuff like that, and he's really good with video games.
He would get through it.
Yeah.
I would fail at the physical parts if I had to use my upper body, but if I was to use my lower body, I would
But
conquer.
that's why we'd have Buzi there to lift the things.
See, I'd be really good if
Yes!
someone's like, if I didn't
Hey,
have
you
to figure
big
shit
dumb
out.
meathead, go.
Yeah, pretty much. If someone was like, "Oh, I figured it out. You just have to climb over there and do this," I'd be like, "Oh, I'll do that part. Like, I want to be part of the team." Yeah.
I'd be figuring out like here's the thing.
I'd be good if there was like a fridge that you guys were like, go grab me a Pepsi.
Is that a spoiler?
How would that be a spoiler? What
What?
part
No,
of the movie is about a Pepsi?
No,
Okay,
I'm asking
it's
him.
We'll get into it in spoilers. It was just Yeah, that's 100% a spoiler.
Okay.
Like I'll just that's what I'm saying.
We'll wait.
Courtney was really good in this movie throughout the movie. She was guessing each room, and I was like, oh wow, I didn't actually think of that.
I knew what was going on every time.
Okay, so we're done with that question now?
Yeah.
Let's get out of the way how we feel about this movie. Buzi, what did you think about this movie?
This was the most entertaining bad movie I've seen in a while.
Same.
I didn't like it, but at the same time, I was engaged enough that I wasn't thinking about like if I was Mitch, like I wasn't thinking about like tech decks or anything.
Yeah.
I was
Tech decks. Tech decks.
Oh, yeah, I was thinking of tech decks and the rings.
Yeah. Yeah,
if you
that's a
listen to
callback.
podcasts-
Tech decks?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was saying that like while we were watching Rings, I was so bored that I was thinking about how cool tech decks used to be.
That's
Yeah.
so
So like I
sad.
was interested and engaged, but I didn't like it. Do you know what I mean?
I think we're at the same place, but much higher.
Okay.
Yeah.
A little bit higher.
I actually liked it.
I enjoyed it a lot.
Except
it's fucking stupid.
the first like 20 minutes of the movie, I was sitting next to people who were the loudest chewers of life. And the guy behind me literally sounded like he was fucking punching his bag of popcorn.
We're done with Cineplex.
Like, yeah, no more Cineplex. It's not happening.
Only landmark.
Popcorn, son of a bitch.
It was insane. And so for the first 20 minutes, I was having a panic attack because my anxiety levels were just through the roof. But after that settled down, I was like, oh, yeah, this is really fun.
Okay, let's get something real fucking clear right now. So everywhere is assigned seating now. If you buy tickets for a movie, especially on a Friday and Saturday night, and you have your seats that are written on your
It
ticket,
clearly says
sit in those fucking seats.
Oh my God, it was brutal.
This was a terrible theater experience, but Courtney and I had an amazing date night. So it was like it worked out well because we went for 13 Pies before, which is the horror movie pizza, best pizza in the city.
What'd you
Best
guys
pizza
have?
in the city.
Oh my God, it's so good. We had the Midnight Meat Train and the Pies Have Eyes.
And Pies Have
Is
Eyes.
Midnight Meat Train the one that's really spicy?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
It gave me wicked heartburn for like a year.
Oh, it's so good.
Yeah, it was awesome. And I had the Voorhees, the drink, and Courtney had Clint Eastwood.
I had Clint Eastwood, which was like basically an old fashioned, but with clove.
It was somehow
flavoring.
better than an old fashioned.
It was. And then I had Coming for You, Barbara, which was like a tequila drink that was fantastic with the spicy pizza, right? Because it was sweet.
How cool is that? That we have a horror movie place. Like a horror movie.
And
here
listen to
especially.
this. Listen to this. Nothing to do with horror, but when we got there, on the projector screen, they were playing Wayne's World. And
Swing.
swing. And in the time that we were there, it finished and they put on Back to the Future.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, and then we went to my old work and had a pint of Guinness.
And then we grew old and forgot how love actually felt. I'm sorry, I was going through no, I was trying to do
Working through some stuff right now?
No, I was doing
I guess.
I was trying to do I've had a few drinks, obviously. Every episode.
Dr. Buzi, we need your help.
No, but it's just like, hey, yeah, we get it, Courtney. We had a great night. Let's rub it in everyone's faces.
I just really like pizza.
Yeah. Some of us went with our roommates and hit a CBD pen before going in and then had a weird experience.
Yeah, so... and
What would you rate the movie? Is it too soon?
No, let's rate it, then let's get into spoilers. Because last thing I'm going to say before I rate it is I think the ending is extremely fucking terrible. The ending, the last like 20 minutes was awful.
Oh, the last...
Up until that point, I was surprised how much I was enjoying it. I was having a really good time watching it. It's missing an R rating, but I understand why it doesn't have an R rating. But the whole lack of blood thing in something, like, because it is, obvious comparisons to the Saw franchise. It definitely has its similarities, but the stars of this movie are the rooms. They get really creative with the rooms, and I've never been in an escape room, so I don't know if there's
Nothing close.
There's clearly nothing like this, like where there's fucking mansions and they're like
It's like shifting what it is in a room.
yeah, like it's like an actual cube.
The closest thing that they had that was actually to an escape room was like the lock on the door that you had to figure out.
Yeah, that was it.
The
That was
code.
it.
Yeah, okay, so there's no shifting rooms and
The only other thing is
not
like
true,
No, the
actually.
only other thing is like if you pick something up, sometimes there's a number on the
Something
bottom.
But
pops
apparently
out.
but the thing is, this has become like a huge phenomenon. So I guarantee you that there are crazy escape rooms out there.
Oh, I'm sure there is.
Just
But-
not in Saskatoon.
No.
And not ones where the floor busts out and you're in a mansion.
No.
or like a wilderness one where you're actually freezing your fucking.
Okay, so let
We live in Canada. We'd be fine.
let's rate this. What are we doing out of here?
You first. Out of 5.
Let's do out of 5, yeah.
Okay, it would be a 2.5.
Wow.
It was straight down the middle. I think it was I paid attention and I wanted to know what was happening next. I didn't really care about the characters. It was more or less just like, yeah, let's see what the next.
But they weren't that bad.
No,
that's the thing.
I know, and this movie wasn't awful by any means. I was very interested in seeing each additional room, but you know, when it's all said and done, and I thought about it after, I was like, I don't want to watch this again. And it was a nice novelty thing to do. It's like going on a vacation somewhere that you'll never go back to.
Yeah.
It was cool that I did it. Not gonna go back.
I'd watch a sequel.
I would too.
Would you?
Yeah, but that's because here's the thing. Like, and it even came up in the whole, like, to me this is just a different version of Final Destination.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the Final Destination
I wrote it down. I wrote it down on my phone.
There's nothing original.
Final
about
Destination
this.
meets Cabin in the Woods meets Hostel.
I think
you're
should be
overshooting.
ashamed of yourself.
You're overshooting here
For saying Cabin in the Woods.
No, I never said that that's a good thing. I'm saying that's what they were trying to do. Hostel, Final Destination, Saw, and Cabin in the Woods. That's what they were trying to do. They took bits and pieces from every single one of those movies or franchises. And that's what kind of made me upset about it. But can I give my rating now?
Sure.
I would give it a 3.33.
Holy fuck. Oh, okay. I didn't know you could do that.
Apparently you can. I didn't realize that.
Yeah, I'm going to go
the
with
first ever 3.33 rating.
I wanted to give it a 3.25.
Jesus Christ.
I
3.25. Why don't you go 3.16 and make it a pie?
Yeah.
Because it's not a pie.
Is that pie?
Yeah.
3.16.
3.14.
3.1614. Yeah.
No, I would give it a 3.33 because I had so much fun up until the last bit.
Like where we fought the rest of the night?
Well, that too. But no, but it got to a point where it was so ridiculous that me and Mitchell just kept looking at each other and like laughing so hard.
We had a lot of fun watching it.
Exactly. And it's like, you know what? I needed that. I needed a stupid movie.
Yeah, it was entertaining. I'll give it that.
It was one of the best
And
January
I liked the
movies I've seen in a
characters,
while.
except for that stupid ass guy that was supposed to make it to the end, Jason.
Yeah.
I hated him, but you're supposed to hate
He's
him.
my one issue. You just spoiled it big time.
Courtney.
That's not a spoiler.
It's not a spoiler that the guy that we don't like makes it to the end, named Jason.
Okay. There's 5 or 6 of them.
Okay.
Okay. You have a 1 out of 6 chance of making it to the end. You'll be fine.
Oh my god.
Oh wait,
Okay.
there's a character I forgot about. Whatever. Okay.
All right. Well, I'll
Sorry.
just go. I went on Letterboxd. I gave it 3.5, and like that's to me
pretty
I was like,
high.
that's surprising. Like
pretty high.
But the thing is, and you know what? I gave better movies a lesser that's the thing is, like, let's talk about that for a second. Like Letterboxd in general, I find that I'm like, okay, so I've given a movie, like, I gave the Escape Room a higher rating than House with the Clock in Its Walls.
Oh.
Yeah, and that's
Oh.
and you wouldn't. I think I had more fun. That's yeah.
I would give House with the Clock in Its Walls a 3.75.
God damn it!
What?
You gotta go like Courtney. 3.75. It's 3.5, 4, 4.5, 5.
Oh, apparently you're doing quarters.
Not on my luck.
Anyways, I don't know. I had fun at Escape Room, and I enjoyed
did
it
too.
enough.
I
I know
had-
that
I
it's
had
not a
fun.
great movie, but I definitely recommend it to people.
Well, that's the thing is we didn't want to go to it in the theater.
Yeah.
Right? It was like I don't really want to waste my money on it. I'll wait until it's on Netflix. But then I'm so glad we went.
We went on cheap movie night, so I can't complain. It
Nice.
was Tuesday, so it was cheaper. But
Absolutely. And you know what, guys out there, if you haven't seen it and you
it's fun. Yeah.
don't want to spend $18 on a movie, go on cheap movie night.
Yeah.
Yeah, or catch it when it comes out. Like, I'm not saying that this is a movie you need to go see in
No,
theaters.
no.
But yeah, it's not like I think that there's much worse things that you could do with your money than go see this. Like,
And
I think so too.
the one thing I'll say that
This
the
isn't a
benefits,
buy-by-man,
no,
stuff
no,
like that.
definitely not. I think the thing that benefits it is, I would say, even if I watched this movie alone and I wasn't with anybody, I probably still would have had an okay time watching it.
I would have liked it by myself
I wouldn't
as
have.
well.
Yeah, I wouldn't have turned it off.
It was really well paced and it was really well directed. Like, I think Adam Robitel is awesome. I know that you fucking hated Insidious: The Last Key.
Mm-hmm.
We both
But
liked it.
I think that movie is like, and I get, because that's just not normally.
That's not my thing. I
Yeah.
do agree that it's a well-made movie. It's just not my thing.
Yeah, but
that's fair.
even that one, I think people were worried about being too nice about it because it was like a fourth Insidious movie. And I thought that he directed the fuck out of that movie. I thought he did a great job, and I really like that movie. There's a few, but like you could tell that this Escape Room was not a passion project for Adam Robitel. It's just a cool he did a good job with what he was given.
Well, that's the thing too, is that I like about this movie is, say for example, like Truth or Dare, or those kinds of movies
Yeah,
where
this
you
is
take
Casablanca compared to Truth or Dare.
right, but where you take something that's popular in the culture that's going on right now and social media and blah 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 blah. You know what I mean? It's like you take that and you try and make money off of it. And
Make it
that's
a horror
fine.
movie.
Well, yeah.
But Escape Room is actually something that's like, yes, that is something that's happening right now, but it's not shit.
Yeah, like
And it's not you're not just banking off of
there's a whole bunch. They try to make some social. They try and have some social commentary in this movie,
you
which
just
is
ignore
like,
that.
Don't eat it.
Just
I
ignore
know.
it.
Yeah, but that's like the
just ignore it.
problem. It's like people are there. They need more. They need like we'll get to that.
We've heard that before. That
Oh, yeah,
that whole
it's-
concept of we people always want more blood, blah blah.
Yeah, it's
I was
fucking
expecting the dialogue to be that thing where it's like, I think they actually did say something about like it used to be gladiators and then it changed.
That's
did
why
say
it
that.
reminded me of Cabin in the Woods,
Yeah,
though.
and
Yeah.
it's like they always do that same kind of thing. And it's like we understand we're a terrible we're a terrible civilization. We want to see blood, of course. We get it.
It's not a believable movie. It's not. It's stupid. It's silly. It's fun.
And you know what? This is the movie that I wish Truth or Dare would have been. Because
too.
I was kind of rooting for Truth or Dare
I
to be
was
that
too.
like sleeper goofy movie like
too.
this.
I-
This feels more like the sleeper goofy movie that I wanted.
I was rooting for Truth or Dare and Wish Upon. Did you see Wish Upon?
I don't think I've seen Wish
No,
Upon.
yeah, you won't.
Don't.
Okay.
But
I never want a movie to fail.
No,
I've
me neither.
I've never been like, fuck yeah, this movie's gonna suck, and I'm gonna love shitting on it. Like, to me, what's the point? You're spending your money on this. So I'm like, I don't know. The fact that I'm like, it's a January, like, for let's talk about January horror movies for a second. Like, The Forest was one that came out a few years ago. This was a billion fucking times better than The Forest.
Who?
The Forest.
Oh, is that the movie we watched at
Natalie-
your place?
yeah, Natalie Dormer.
Oh, that was
Yeah.
so bad.
It was bad, and like but here's the other thing. It's like The Boy was another one. I think that was a January.
That one's not
the
as
one
bad.
not that
the one
bad.
that you and I watched, The Boy,
Yeah.
not the boy, right?
No,
'Cause
like
there's
the one
two.
with the girl from The Walking
Yeah,
Dead.
because January's usually known as the dumping
Yeah,
ground.
but also Split came out in January, which is awesome.
Yeah.
Which
and
also
Glass is next week.
well, and next week's episode
Mm-hmm.
is Glass. I was going to say that at the beginning, but I forgot to.
Thank you.
Surprise, Bryson.
Thank you.
Yeah, but I don't know. If you guys want to get on spoilers, let's just quickly do it,
Yeah,
because
so-
there's not really much to spoil.
No,
we've already said everything.
I will start off with spoilers if that's okay.
Okay. It's to everyone who, if you don't want to hear spoilers, turn it off now. We'll see you next week for Glass. Otherwise, we're going to talk about...
Yeah, Diego will be back,
Supergirl.
and we'll be discussing Glass, so make sure you go out and see that. And yeah, we'll be back next Tuesday.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and I'm gonna give you a countdown from 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Spoilers.
Go,
Okay.
Courtney. Go.
Well, nothing too crazy, but like Mitch was saying before,
You've already spoiled the whole movie.
Yeah, okay, Jason. Every room, it was like, oh, I know what's going to happen right now. I think the first room with the heat,
Let's talk about that. Okay, so the rooms are the best part. The first room was the oven room.
the oven room, love it. What I do want to say, though, before we get into the rooms, is that one that you were telling the guy, what did you call him? Captain?
Oh,
Exposition.
Captain Exposition. Yeah.
I love him. I
Yeah,
thought
he's
he was great. And I wanted so badly for him to be the game master at the very end.
So you wanted a
Because he-
Saw moment. You wanted it was like, it was me all along.
Yes,
Oh
because he was...
my god, that would have been terrible.
Well, because he was the one who kept talking about Game Master and blah, 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 blah. And
Yeah.
he was the first one to die, was he not?
Yes.
Yes.
Which
So-
is a shame because he's the most likable
And
one.
he was the most likable, but that's why I was like, oh, that'd be kind of fun if at the end he was like, you know.
So is that a red herring for you then? Where you thought it was going to be that way? Or
I
you
didn't
wanted it?
think it.
Okay.
I was being like, that could be an okay ending that I wouldn't mind.
I had no idea how it was going to end because I'm like, yes, this is a cool idea, but how would you end this? And then I found out they couldn't.
No.
Yeah, I was the whole time I was watching it, I was like, "Where's the red herring? There has to be that Saw thing or whatever." And then when the ending happened, I was like, "Oh, that's what they went with."
I
Yeah.
can't stand how they opened the movie with the guy that we see who he's participating.
That was
he's by himself.
my biggest.
Yeah, that's annoying.
That sucked.
It's like but what's the point in doing that? It's like you put any other character, like someone who's not in the movie, and just fucking do that.
What
Yeah.
they should have done was done the opening montage or whatever to the house that they mentioned in the newspaper article before where everyone burned alive. That's what they should have done.
100%. I 100% agree with both of you. Like, especially your point where you're saying it should have been somebody else. Yeah. Be a character that we never see again, and you could have done the complete same thing. Yeah, it could have been a bunch of characters like you were saying, which would have been perfect. Is that kind of cold opening of like, oh shit, people are gonna die. Yeah, but it was annoying to see, like, so then the whole time you're watching it, you're like, well, he's gonna make it to at least this part because
you know what though, I did not know it was the same guy. I didn't pay close enough to attention.
Oh, I did. Yeah, right away. No. Me and Tyler were like, that's the same fucking guy.
See, because his character was not memorable in any way, shape, or form. Like his face, his cigarettes, his blah 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 blah.
We also had a bunch of cocktails and a Guinness.
That's true. I had a couple of cocktails.
Couple of wobbly pops.
Yeah.
I had a couple of cocktails before the cocktail party. No, I did not put two and two together that it was the same guy because I wasn't paying close enough attention to either because he wasn't memorable for me. So when he came in after that opening scene, I didn't. And so once he got through, I was like, oh.
I mean, some of the stuff was very predictable though. Like you have the cocky businessman guy. You're like, of course he's not going to make it, and of course he's physically fit comparatively to everyone else. You're like, of course he's going to be the calculated one that turns on everyone because he's the businessman.
Yeah. And that's the thing where I give this movie credit is I think that he was the only ultra shitty character in the movie. Like, because he was the only one that I actually couldn't stand actively.
Yeah, he was the only one that was not
he was terrible
in any way.
And then they gave some people weird stories. Like
he was a bad actor.
Did we need to have the girl with PTSD and then show all of a sudden these Iraq flashbacks?
You know what? In a movie like this, you do.
I feel like they could have went about it where they're just like, oh, you know, they didn't have to show all that shit. I felt like they could have literally just been like, yeah, I was in Iraq.
For hers?
Hers, yes.
That's where it's unoriginal.
But the thing is that they gave you all these scenes where you're supposed to connect with that character, and then to have her die off so quick after, because you're expecting her to be
she should have stuck around because she was like the best actress out of all of them.
You felt like she could have been a lasting character. I was okay with her dying, but if it was later in the film and that she helped kind of that nerdy main girl, I felt like that would have served the story better.
Well, and one thing I found too was that they were doing those flashbacks way too fucking early in the movie. It's like, whoa, can we just calm down and get through some fun rooms first? We don't need to be doing those flashbacks right off the bat. Like, it was confusing at first because I was like, what? You know, I just could have waited.
And then I feel like sometimes they missed out on doing flashbacks where you were left guessing. Like, and specifically, this would be room 2, where the red jacket, and you see the one guy go like, that's a red jacket, and you don't. That's where you cut immediately to him on that boat with his buddy, because they didn't do that till way later. So you're going like, oh yeah, that guy was wearing a jacket, and that's the same jacket. You should have cut to that immediately.
Well, and that room was so easy to decipher too, because as soon as you see the thing, what was the clue again? About Rudolph?
Oh,
Rudolph the Red-Nosed.
It was a 7-letter word, and it was all the
second
reindeers.
I saw it, I looked at Mitch, and I'm like, Rudolph.
Yeah, and I was like, oh, I wouldn't have thought of that.
And then the second we saw the compass, I'm like, oh, north is a lie.
Yeah,
like, that room was just so in your face.
Did they ever explain how the fuck they would have known that he was singing Rudolph? That confused the fuck. I was like, were they in the vehicle?
Because he was singing it, around Christmas. When he killed all of his friends in a drunken
I see what you mean.
The Game Masters, how the fuck would they have known that?
No, they didn't go into that. I would
Unless it was in the police report, he's like, I was singing Rudolph and then we died. They wouldn't have fucking known a thing.
Though, like it's not like it's an omnipresent like.
I'm pretty sure if he murdered all of his friends, he wouldn't be like, yeah, I was driving and I was singing Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
I just really love Rudolph.
Yeah, but see, like that thing where like it served the story, and until after you're thinking about it, you're like, why the fuck would they know that?
Yeah, they wouldn't know that.
So that's stupid. But the thing is,
this
movie's
he's a
escape room.
Survivor. Yeah.
This movie wasn't trying to be that smart.
No, and then the other, I'm just pointing out problems, but I did enjoy this movie, is that it felt like towards the end, because they were doing such a good job of like, this character did this, and that's why this happened. And then, especially like the mining guy, I feel like they started horseshoeing him at the end. They're like, this character needs a story. Let's, they did a mine thing. You know what I mean? Where some of the characters were thought out, where like they had an interesting story.
Like the shy girl.
Exactly.
I liked her.
I thought she was fine,
but you also know she's going to be the last person at the beginning of the movie, right?
And she had all the fucking corny lines about being like, "I'm the only one who I always survive."
Exactly. Yeah.
Oh, it's what?
Well, because she survived her whatever. I've already forgotten. What
I feel like her character should have been replaced with the PTSD one. Not that the other girl would die, but that she would be the one taking out the cameras, and then the three of them could have survived.
I would have liked them to have those two girls together.
Because it seemed like such a stretch that the nerdy girl who overthinks things is all of a sudden bashing cameras and all this shit.
But that's why they started in her stupid quantum physics class or whatever it is at the beginning.
Also, sexual tension with the teacher that never went anywhere.
Very true.
I was expecting a little more out of that.
I don't know if this is too early to step in on this, but how hilarious was the drug scene?
Yeah.
My favorite part.
Oh my
we were
The Snapchat filter room.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So they get into a Snapchat filter room, but it's a drug trip. Like
And
what?
no,
the-
but
they
did you notice that all the walls are fingerprints?
Yeah, and
It's fingerprint wallpaper.
And then it was like they were on LSD, and there was on the TV there was static or something. I don't know what the fuck was
It
going
made
on.
no sense.
It was some sort of toxin that makes
Oh,
you
right.
Instant
high and
LSD
hallucinate.
apparently.
And it needs an antidote. And I was like, whoa, that looks actually really fun.
I'll have what he's having.
And then the fucking guy right away when he finds the thing is instantly it says like per one use or whatever.
Yeah, one dosage.
He starts going like, oh, I found it. It's like, what the fuck are you telling this guy? Because he immediately attacks him.
Well, and I didn't get that at first because to me it like reflected in the bottom of the drawer, so it looks like there was two doses or whatever. And I was like, oh, and then I was like, whoa.
Okay, so what was our favorite room before we
The
get too far?
acid room.
I think mine was the cafeteria, the upside down
Yeah.
diner.
Okay, I was gonna say that too. I loved the upside. That's where I was really into the movie.
Yeah.
Actually, no. I'm gonna be honest with you. The moment I was like fully on board, and I actually like looked over at Courtney, I was like, "Oh shit, that's dope." Was when the oven turned on.
Yeah,
right
honestly,
from the beginning. Like I was like, as soon as the room kicked in, I was like, "That's kind of dope."
I like the oven room. I like the cold room.
I
but
like
not
all
as
the
much.
rooms. But what? You didn't like the upside down room?
Diner was 100% my favorite.
No,
What's
I
the
did
one you
like-
didn't like?
No, I like them all. I don't know what was my favorite. I don't know.
Yeah, like, because the only thing about the diner that I didn't like, which was also hilarious, though, is how the floor was breaking out and they're falling like 30 stories.
Yeah.
And like that's another one of those times where it's just like, I understand the whole PG-13 thing, but this like in a Final Destination, like when they're
They would have
rebooting
been
Final
hitting
Destination,
their bodies over all the stuff.
when it's Final Destination, it's got to be 18A. It's got to be R-rated. It's got to be fucking brutal. Like if you're gonna show us cool, if a movie's gonna fully rely on cool kills, you got to show us really cool kills. The only reason why Escape Room I think surpasses that a little bit, or like we can offer it some leniency, is because the rooms were so cool. It was like it gave us something else that we didn't need. Like the blood would have been awesome, but we didn't necessarily need it because they worked their asses off in the other department.
Yeah, and that's one thing I was thinking about is it would have been cool, but then I started thinking like, oh, that would just been ripping off Saw if they would have had things where like to get this certain number or whatever you need to get out of the room, you had to do some sort of mutilation, which I thought would have been cool. And then I was like, okay, they probably are trying not to bite Saw more than they already have, so I get it.
More than they already have.
Yeah. And
Yeah, no, I'm
so
with you there.
I get that point, but it would have been interesting because it felt very forward that it was too easy for them to get the clues. Because even that whole thing of them having to thaw out that piece of ice, they never go back to that because immediately after they're hanging in this room upside down and nobody's like, my hands are cold. There should have just been something, you know what I mean? Like something that showed that they had actually went through some shit.
That scene did annoy me when they were constantly changing over it with their hands and to heat it up. I was like,
Throw it at something. There's a fucking tree.
yeah.
Oh yeah, I know, the heating it up with the hands. That was so stupid.
Someone was instantly like, we have to use our hands. It's like, that's the best you guys
You
could
guys
have come
couldn't
up.
have put it in a circle and all breathed on it? You don't think that would have been faster? Like,
No, yeah, well, especially once your hands start getting freezing.
just breathe on it for a bit. Put it under your armpit.
Yeah, or
your
the-
armpit and the back of your knees
Or the old guy
are
was-
the hottest parts
that
of your
would
body.
be ticklish.
Put it on your boobs for a second. Underneath.
Whoa.
Under your, that under boob sweat is a different
that under-boob
temperature.
Sweat is.
That would have burnt it through it in no time.
I'm just saying.
Okay.
So
yeah.
so the one character that survives is kind of the dud character.
He is the dud.
And the thing I find really funny,
I love how it flips between which characters are surviving. Though,
Yeah.
'cause it's so
Which
fucking
one is it? Oh, and then
stupid.
the screen. Who is it?
It's
Whoa,
got
whoa, whoa.
the Hunger Games screen where it's like, it's like
Yeah.
this one's dead.
but like the weird part of that is it shows all these people who are really good at clues solving this puzzle. That's how you get the invitation. And then it's him who's just fucking chucking it at a wall after he's all depressed about shit. And he's like, oh,
chain
Mr.
smoking.
Yeah, Mr. So-and-so left this for me, so I better break it. And he's throwing this fucking thing. Yeah, he managed to get the ticket. It felt really weird that that's how he got his ticket, is he lucked into it when all these other people are doing complicated shit.
The vet,
Yeah.
the war vet is the woman. She's the only person who should have survived.
Yes.
I agree.
She's the only person.
But
who
you
should
know
survive.
right from the beginning that it's going to be the girl who can't talk.
and who's on the poster.
Yeah, well,
It's her
and
face.
then you see the war vets like the whole time is like encouraging her. She's like, "You go, girl. Let's find that bravery you didn't know you had,
Yeah.
even though I'll die."
Like it's loaded to the brim with cliches and everything, but it's still like it's
also,
it's enjoyable.
in the diner thing, did you notice that when she was hanging from the telephone line before she fell, their best bet was to try and get that scrawny dude to hold a broom? Like, what the fuck was that gonna do?
Hey, oh my god, I know. And he was like, just reach out. I'm like, you think you can support her weight with one arm and a fucking broomstick?
Yeah, she would not only could she not reach it, she'd have to swing to it, but he's holding it with one hand. I was like, this isn't gonna work.
It was pretty fucking hilarious.
It was
I remember thinking that too. She's like, oh no, I hope she doesn't reach for
felt like a
that.
very sentimental gesture as opposed to actually trying to help her survive.
But that's the thing. So I guess the moral of the story here is if you do decide to go into escape room, and if you're taking it seriously at the 20-minute mark, don't. Like, just don't watch it.
100%.
Don't even watch it. Because if you just, like, let yourself have some fucking fun.
Well, and we didn't go into it hoping it was going to
No.
be the next Hereditary.
Fuck no. But I was, like, even though, like, we're talking about how many flaws this movie had, it's incredible to me that I still really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Same.
Like, I still really liked it.
I would watch it again, 100%.
100% I would.
Especially if I was hungover on the couch.
Yeah.
That is 100% my
This
shit.
is a fucking great Netflix movie.
Yes.
For sure.
Okay, I just wanted to pass to a certain point. So we have it is that the minor guy dies because they fuck up the game and they didn't realize. Everyone else you think is starting to die. It's two people managed to get to that last room, which is our loser guy and Mr. Cool businessman.
So we've now
He's
reached
the
our...
only he's the only one who can't act in this movie.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he's bad. Like that
Which one?
Jesse, I think his name is, or James, like the
businessman?
yeah,
Yeah.
He legitimately cannot act. James, yeah, or
Yeah.
Jason.
So we get to that point, and then you have the other character survive. He drops into that room, which we saw at the start, and they start going through it, but they speed it up so you don't have to watch that whole fucking scene again.
Thank you.
Yeah, and then they get to it, and you're like, oh, it looks like he's died, but actually he crawled through the fireplace.
I think so,
Yeah, he crawls through the fireplace, he survives, and then all of a sudden you have the like generic businessman bad guy ending.
Oh man, that was like I was kind of like, whoa, is this where
It
we're going?
Yeah, it completely shifted, and it gives you this shoehorned thing where
You
it's
could have done literally anything else. It would've
That's
been,
where the... Like, when they got to the screen room, right? Because that was after the library
Yeah.
thing.
where the evil maniacal
Yeah.
businessman.
Well, that's...
who we don't care who this person
He's
is.
That's
literally
where they
garbage Jigsaw.
That's where they should have done something with the game master.
He's Jigsaw, but a garbage man.
Even someone who had like walked by the pier earlier that
Mm-hmm.
you noticed his face because he was wearing a funny tie. You know, like anything
Exactly.
to tie
Something
him in.
unseen for
there
us.
was nothing.
It should have been the fucking university professor.
Yeah, it should have been.
yeah, do something that scares you this weekend.
100%.
Yeah, not only
We
that,
just wrote a better movie.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it could have been that, and this is something that's happened a billion times before. But honestly, even if it would have been one of the other characters who were participating,
That's what I'm saying. With
Yeah, it
the-
would've been
the
better.
guy.
Haha, you thought I fell to my death. I'm actually here.
Even though, like that's how bad the ending is.
How
that
cray
would be
cray
better.
would it have been if it was the gorgeous redhead who just had insane PTSD and she went fucking wild?
And had like $1 trillion
would've-
budget.
It would have been better than this.
Yes.
Okay, so we have generic bad guy. We've never been introduced before. Give us this very shitty reason why they're doing this. It makes
For
no.
rich people because they need
It
to
should have
know.
been. It should have been at Trump Tower, and it should have been Trump.
Yeah, but they basically just ripped off one of the Purge movies in terms of what the ending was, where it's rich people love to see you guys die.
Oh,
I
I
know.
didn't even think of the purge. Yeah.
That's
not-
totally the Purge thing.
Yeah, and like not only that though, but like we had no reason to really believe that this guy was even that rich. Like he was just like a bum.
Yeah.
Like, this guy who like
He
comes
was
up-
hired. hired. That guy was hired.
Yeah, it was fucking stupid.
Yeah, well, it was. If you're gonna give us that kind of ending, that has to be like the CEO. It has to be somebody who's connected, not just like we hired this guy to watch people die.
Yeah.
True.
Even if you're gonna rip off The Purge that hard, have it end off with like them going into a room full of rich people all watching the screens.
Yeah, and they'd have like monocles that all look like
Yeah.
Mr. Monopoly, and they
Yes. They all look like Jack Black in House of the Clock on its walls.
yeah,
Like,
exactly.
Well, then-
Something.
Yeah.
When they jumped to the airplane scene,
Oh man, that was funny.
And
That was funny.
obviously, I 100% thought it was the plane that they were on.
Which
And I
is
was
what
like,
they
"Are we
that's what they
serious?"
wanted you to think.
Yes, but it's like at the same time I was like, I do not want this to happen right now. Like that's not what I want.
I'm trying to think of the line that the main girl that we're supposed to be cheering for, like, because she survived a plane accident, isn't that? Like,
Yes.
That's, okay.
Yeah.
And her parents died, yes.
Yeah, and she says something about that, like, I'm tired of surviving or something. Like, she says something, but it's so much worse than that, and I wish I could remember it.
Yeah, it is something like, I'm tired of surviving, I want to live. It was one of those dumb, because they're supposed to be like the 5% of people who shouldn't have survived.
Yeah.
But, so you get this ending where all of a sudden it's just like a couple months, oh wait, the building's gone or empty?
It's a fucking. Well, yes, of course it is. Of course it is.
Okay, they go to the police instantly, right? And all of a sudden the building's gone, and she's like, this was here, whatever, and...
Because they're so rich, they can get rid of it.
Yeah, I didn't understand that. So yeah, then they skip forward, and all of a sudden these people are in a relationship now?
They're
they were...
friends.
They're in a relationship, aren't they?
They're
I
friends.
think they're friends because I also thought that was like, no way.
Because they had zero chemistry. They
Yeah.
barely interacted with
And
each
that's
other.
why
No, and
I
he's
was...
doing better now. He's not
Yeah.
smoking cigarettes.
I was
and he
watching
has a
close
job.
because I thought, I was like, there's no fucking way that these two are in a relationship.
Mm-hmm.
And then if I pay close attention to that part, and they're just friends. They're
Oh, okay.
they're survivors.
Survivor pals.
Yeah. And they're like, you gotta let this go. Like,
Yeah.
it's like, how the fuck would you ever let that go?
Yeah.
You need to
let's just
move on
forget
with
about
your
it.
life.
Let's forget about it.
No.
No, that guy's
Move on with
literally...
your life.
No, the guy's literally like, you need to move on with your life. I am in a better place now. That's all that was.
I'm really good.
Yeah.
But when they're doing the simulation on the plane, right? Because that's what it is. It's a fucking simulation. It's not real.
Because they know that they're coming to get them.
And then the people in like the room are like, "What's the chance of survival?" And they're like, "Maybe 3%." And they were like, "Perfect." They're on a plane to Paris in a wig.
Yeah.
And that's how it ends. I'm like,
And that's the part that doesn't make sense, because why would these people know any of this? Your game master should have been... He should have survived and been the one who, like, they shouldn't have fucked with me. But it's just another evil guy that you don't know who it is.
Yeah.
So
Exactly.
who are you supposed to dislike? This corporation you know nothing about?
but is that setting it up for Escape Room 2?
That's the thing is, I think they already know that they're already biting Saw enough as it is that they can't have another Jigsaw.
Do a second. No.
They can't have another Jigsaw, but like you need something though. Like
That was a bad ending, especially if it goes to a point where we're not going to... I hope they get a sequel, honestly, I do. I don't know about you guys.
They will too.
I would watch the sequel.
Well, no. Whether they will or not is whether they decide if the input was worth the output or the output was worth the input. But I hope it does get a sequel, because this is an awful way to end a movie if this is a standalone.
It'd almost be fun for the sequel to be the people that are in charge of it, though.
Well, to give us something. Honestly, it's... You know what? The more that we talk about, the more that I realize that it is just a shitty movie. Like they fucked up in the writing department, though. Only in the writing. I think that Adam Robitel did a great job.
Yeah,
I think the directing was fucking awesome in this movie. I think it was.
I still love it.
The fact that he could take something that was so actually flawed to fucking shit and make it a cohesive, like a semi-cohesive, enjoyable, entertaining movie, that says so much about his skill as a director. And like I have no reason to be rooting for this guy, because I didn't like Taking of Deborah Logan the first time I watched it.
Oh, and
I've only
I
seen it
love that
once,
movie.
and I really liked it.
After I rewatched it, I liked it a lot more, and then I really enjoyed Insidious.
It's very original for what it is.
But I just think he did a
Absolutely.
really good job. I think that the actors did a really good job. But just like this script, like it was so fucking not thought out for the end. Like there's,
But think, yeah, like logistically think about it. Is they set it up where like the sequel is going to carry on where. So they're in a plane crash, they die, then we introduce to new characters, or is the escape room on the plane? What are we left with in terms
That's what
of?
they make it seem like, though, is the escape room is
the plane.
on the plane.
So we're gonna have
again.
basically a snakes on a plane, but
Final
it's kind of-
Destination.
And if
Final
you think
Desti-
I'm not here for another Snakes on the Plane, you wrong.
Oh my god!
stop. No more snakes on a plane.
I love snakes.
But yeah,
on the plane.
that's the ending that they've set us up for. We're gonna go, okay, that's what number 2 is, a skyscraper plane.
Yeah.
What?
I don't
And
know.
Dwayne the Rock Johnson is the main character.
I don't know.
They're
Either
gonna
way,
replace the main surviving white guy with Dwayne the Rock Johnson. Hey, I buffed up.
as a horror movie, no, this is not something amazing. As an entertaining movie, it does the trick. As a January movie, it surpasses expectations.
Okay, will we look at this movie in 20 years as that fun 2010s movie?
Fuck no.
It might be.
I will. That's like urban legend for me.
No, okay. So as someone who probably likes urban legend the least out of the three of us, actually 100% likes urban legend the least out of the three of us. This is not urban legend.
Okay, no, but like I'm trying to.
I think it doesn't need to be anything special.
No,
it's,
it doesn't
just
need
it's
to
a
be
fun time at the
anything.
movies.
But it's the way we look at things. We're like, okay, 80s movies, there's always like, there's the good ones, and then there's like the fun 80s movies. Like, I could look at this movie in however many years as like a weird, not that they have anything in common, but like a society thing where they put it on at a festival. It's like, remember this movie from 2019 that no one remembers in like 30 years or whatever? And they'll put it on for $5 at a local movie theater, and you'll go like, man, the 2010s were fucking crazy.
Well, that's the thing is, I don't think that this movie is going to be a thing that so many people see. It's going to be something that like people like us.
I think this is Devil. This is Devil.
Yes.
But, yeah,
Okay.
I think this is a not. I think
Devil's a better movie.
I love Devil.
I like this movie more than Devil, and that's upon rewatch.
and I like Devil more.
Yeah, but it's a type of movie where it's just like it'll come up once in a while. It's not like Devil is not a classic movie, and it never will be.
No.
And like this, neither with this.
but it's something
fun.
I like to put on every once in a while, just to put
Fun
on.
to just have some fun.
Yeah.
That's what it is. It's a fun movie. It's not going to be anything. I really, truthfully do not think this, and this is not going to be the next Saw franchise.
No.
This,
No.
This is not going to be Saw. This isn't even going to be. It's not going to be Paranormal Activity. It's just.
No, but I'm just trying to think of
Fine.
it as like, where does this movie land moving forward in history?
I think
Is it something where maybe 5 people remember it and that's it?
I think it'll casually come up in conversation once in a while.
Like the Babysitter's Club.
So yeah, when we do the end of when of our 2019 year,
No,
we're gonna go like, hey, what was that movie we talked? What was our first episode of 2019? It was fucking Escape Room. We're going like, oh shit, I forgot about that movie.
That's a lot better than-
That's exactly right.
Yeah, not only that though, but it's going to be like, hey, remember how much better Escape Room was than Rings or The Bye Bye Man or any other movie that comes out in January? Like Split was the one that's like, to me, I love Split. I'm really. Are you excited for Glass?
Not really.
Okay, so I've been saying this from the beginning since the trailers started coming out. That I'm like, I think that the trailers have me worried because I'm like, he's biting off. We're gonna get into this next week, but I'm like, I have not been sold on it. But I'm also the guy leading the charge, being like, I loved Split, so I want to see more from this universe.
But I agree with you.
I'm so excited. I don't even care if it's bad. I'm still
I know
so
it's,
fucking
it's,
excited.
it's getting horrible reviews.
Well,
but I don't give a
that's the thing
fuck.
is, I agree with you. Is that even when I saw Split, I was like, okay, this is a cool idea. Even if it's tied to Unbreakable, which I didn't like as much. I know you guys really liked it, but it wasn't for me. It was just like I was like, oh, Split seems like a really cool movie. Where I'm looking at the trailers for this, and I'm like, this is a lot of weird things mashed together. Yeah, especially because Split was such a contained movie in this little is a basement thing going on, and all of a sudden you're seeing James McAvoy running out around in public, and it's not dark out. That's where I'm going like, what are we watching?
I've been hesitant about it since, like, I've been very cautious about it. But the thing is, like, I'm not expecting an incredible movie, but like I'm looking forward to seeing it because I love the first 2 movies.
Yeah, I'm not going to go in arms crossed. I'm just like, this isn't something that like I watched the trailer and I'm like, I'm not that excited for.
When I watched the trailer, I did not get the feeling that I got when I watched the trailer for Split or Unbreakable.
See, and when I watched the trailer for Glass, I got that feeling.
Yeah, a lot of people did.
I was like, holy shit, this is going to be incredible. And even if because I do have it in my head to be something that's going to be such a high standard, even if it's like mediocre, I'm still going to be happy about it.
This out of the 2 other movies that came beforehand, this one seems like the most superhero-y rip-off, quote unquote.
And that's why I'm excited.
And that's where I'm detracting from it,
Yeah.
where I'm like, I like Unbreakable a lot more already just from what I've seen from Glass.
Yeah, and I hope it surprises you. Like, I'm going in with a completely open mind, but for me, it's just like I'm not like the trailer, I'm like, man, that is a whole bunch of stuff going on in one
It's a
movie.
lot. It is a
and
lot.
like that's like M. Night has never been good at handling a whole bunch of stuff going on at one time. Like that's always when he falls, is when he has too much going on.
Or
like,
sequels. Other than Split, he doesn't have a great track record for that either.
What other
What-
sequels?
what
What other sequels has he?
He
He's
hasn't.
had no.
No, he hasn't.
Okay,
This
then
is-
he.
I don't
Split's
think
his
he's
first
ever
sequel.
done a sequel. Split is the
No.
first one.
But for me, Unbreakable is a 5 out of 5 movie, and Split is like a 4 out of 5 movie.
Split's at least a 4.5 for me.
I love Split, so we'll get
So,
to that next week.
Yeah, we'll get to it next week.
But okay, so next week, yeah. Either way, Escape Room, a good time. It's fine.
Yeah,
it's fun. I will watch it again. I will watch a sequel. It's not changing my life.
Is it
fine.
worth your money? Honestly, I would say yeah. It's a
I would
lot
say
of
yes.
fun. It's a lot of fun.
I would say yes, it's worth the money.
Especially if you go on cheap night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think there's I'm feeling kind of hopeful about this year.
I'm very hopeful.
Yeah, it's fun. Okay, well thank you so much, Courtney, for coming
Yeah,
on.
thank
again.
Thanks
you.
for having me, guys. I had fun.
You're always fun to be around.
Yeah,
Oh,
and I always want you to come on. So whenever you want to come on, but you don't like coming on that much.
No, I do. I was so excited to share my top 10. I just had such a hard time.
Yeah, but
You
you
know-
also like having a couple hours away from me. So you like podcast time just as much as I do.
It was kind of nice not to have to cook tonight. And I'll just make us a nice quick
yeah. Well,
ravioli.
don't worry, you'll make up for it double tomorrow.
Okay, bye, guys.
I'm kidding. I love you.
Okay.
Okay, so we'll be back next week with a discussion on Glass. So make sure you go and check that out this coming weekend. Go on by Halloween, which is out on Blu-ray, and we'll talk more horror movies.
And if anyone else wants to join in on our book thingy that we've all decided we're
Yes,
going to do,
yes.
let us know. Let's read up
You
the
know what we
fucking
should do?
storm. 2019 is literature year.
Oh,
Yeah.
and by the way, happy 101.
Thank you.
Okay, quick thing though, and if she's still listening here, because I don't blame her. I always turn it off at episodes at the last couple of minutes here. But I'm going to be reading a book Jason Hamill got me. It's Kubrick Red. It's either way, it's a Shining book. We should let Lana pick the book that we all read.
Sure.
Yeah,
If it's accessible,
she has
yeah.
done nothing but recommend incredible books.
yeah,
so.
she's really good. So we'll let her pick a book and then we'll all read it.
Okay.
Okay, we'll see you guys next week. Love you all.
Bye.
Bye.
Good night.